Hello everybody and welcome to the United Stand. It's Chelsea versus Manchester United in what is a huge game for us today. Put my glasses on. Massive game for Manchester United today, as we know. Massive game in the context of the top four race. We're 6 points ahead of Chelsea at the moment. We're 9 points ahead of Liverpool. Leicester have lost today. The ideal situation is that Manchester United win the game today. We go 9 points ahead of Chelsea, 3 points ahead of Leicester, and we firmly get a strong grip. That wasn't very good. We get a firm grip on. I'd be happy with that sort of a grip, to be fair. But anyway, I digress. We get a firm grip on the second place and top four. Of course, if we were to lose today, then we could be 3 points behind. Well, we would be 3 points behind Chelsea. We could be 6 points only off Liverpool in the same points as Leicester. So it's very interesting how this game could pan out today. We're playing 5 at the back, says United's call. I've not seen anything about that. Bay starts. I've seen. I don't know where all this is coming from. I've seen a few bits floating around about a back 5, but I've not seen anything massively convinced. I mean, look, I have actually. I've heard that McTominay is starting, that James is starting, and Greenwood start for Manchester United. I've not heard anything about a back 5, but McTominay, James and Greenwood start for Manchester United has come out literally in the last minute or so. So I do want to move towards the team, but I don't know where the back 5 thing's coming from. I don't know where people are getting that from. I can't give you anything confirmed on that. But McTominay, Dan James and Greenwood start, which takes us nicely to this screen so that we can adapt it, which is what I was going to lead into that, but we can adapt the team for you. So let me open up the players here. So we know, we don't know for definite, but we know that Van der Beek is not going to start. So we can take him out and McTominay will start in this game. So let's pop McTominay in. Let's take Twansebi out of that position. So we know McTominay starting and we know James is starting. With Greenwood starting, that is confusing. That does confuse me in relation to Dan James and Greenwood starting. I've got to say I'm not convinced about how that's going to work. It certainly doesn't suggest we're playing a back 5, as some people have said. We'll have to wait until we're going to have to wait a little bit. But I actually think we're probably going to do something more like this. Greenwood is the head of the striking position, because unless we've picked up an injury. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand how you play Dan James and Mason Greenwood in the same team that's got Martial and Rashford in it. You're never going to pick that front four. So Martial or Rashford must not be starting if Greenwood and James are starting. Which is weird, because I actually thought Anthony Martial played well on Thursday night. And I've got to repeat what I said on the morning show. It's not a rant point for me, far from it. But in a game of this magnitude, would I play Mason Greenwood as a number 9 when Anthony Martial can play the number 9 role and played it well against Sociedad? I think it would be a risk unless we've got an injury. Or we're playing a back 5 with Dan James as a wing back, which again would be weird. So maybe we're playing a back 5 with Rashford's playing down the middle. Yeah, I mean, it's weird. It's exciting, but it's weird. But I think it's good that McTominay's back. Look, I'm not a big fan of McFred, but Matic playing for the second time in 3.5 days would have been really weird. So, it's interesting. A lot of people are very excited about the fact that Martial could be dropped and Greenwood starting. It has been confirmed through social media, but reliably on social media, it's been confirmed that Manchester United will be starting with Dan James, Greenwood and McTominay. They're the 3 players that we know are starting in this game today. So McTominay is back. Van der Beek is... This is not the confirmed team, by the way. This is still a predicted team, but you can take it to the bank that Bruno will start, that Fred will start, McTominay will start. So the midfield, I think we know. James and Greenwood would probably suggest that Martial is going to be dropped himself. So that's basically what we're sort of understanding in relation to that, about that. But let's have a look at this. I don't think this is going to be correct, but Hold on, I have got a predicted. I have got a leaked lineup here. I'm not take it with a pinch of salt because I don't know how good this source is. De Gea, Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Maguire, Shaw, Fred, McTominay, Fernandes, Rashford, Greenwood, James. So that, if that is correct, the only thing that we would have to do begrudgingly, I don't agree with having to do this, but is it really unexpected? Is put Victor Lindelof in next to Harry Maguire, and apparently that is the team for Manchester United today. No, I don't want to go there. I want to go here. I mean, what would your thoughts be on that team? If that was the team, what would your thoughts be on that team? Dan James plays and does okay. Donny plays and does better than Fred and McTominay, but doesn't get rewarded like James. Mr. Favouritism needs to go. It's a short negative turnover. It's an interesting one. Yeah, I think that not playing Bailly is a problem, but then again, all I want Manchester United to do is get to a situation where I'm happy with the starting 11. I'm not happy with the starting 11. I'm never happy with the starting 11. And I'm not talking about, oh, I'm not happy with the starting 11 because we need to buy a centre-back. I'm not happy with the starting 11 in relation to the team that we could pick. That's what frustrates me. I mean, I've got the Spurs game on here. They're 3-0 up. And I saw the team come out for Spurs just very quickly. And I was like, well done, Mourinho. It took you 7 months to do that. He's been playing Eric Dyer at centre-back, who is shite. Today he's dropped him and he's played Alderweireld and Davinson Sanchez. He's been playing Sissoko and Højbjerg as CDMs, very defensive. Today he's played Ndombele and Højbjerg. And his front four is Bale, Moura, Son and Kane. And they're 3-0 up against Burnley at half-time. And it's an attacking side. And the trouble I have with Manchester United is the same trouble. Is why I've predicted that this game will not have many goals in it. It's why I've predicted that tonight you may as well go back through your old tweets and get them ready to say Man United's record against the top six continues to be hardly any goals scored, maybe a 0-0 draw. And this will be repeated by Sky, rinse and repeat. Now, it's a prediction before ball's even been kicked, and it might not happen. But if I was a gambling person, which I'm not, I'd go with 0-0 in this game, because you've just got the same deep-lying centre-backs with the same midfield that will sit deep in front of them, and Dan James will work his arse off, and Greenwood will get isolated as number 9, and Bruno will get isolated as number 10. I hope that doesn't happen, but I think we can all predict it will happen. Ollie should have stuck with Lindelof and Bailly, says Sean Negative Turner. It should be Bailly and somebody. This is the thing we keep saying. It should be Bailly and somebody. Whether it's Maguire or Lindelof, I don't care. But it's very, very clear that Eric Bailly is our best centre-back. And we play better football structurally when Eric Bailly is in the team. It's my birthday today, says Joseph Tyrrell. Mark, we beat Chelsea 1-0 at Stamford Bridge on the day I was born. So hopefully we can get a similar result today. I'm looking forward to this one. I'm really up for this one, Joseph. I really am. And I think it's a huge opportunity for Manchester United today. Draw result is written in the stars for this game, says Big Dickens. I think you might be right on that one. Manchester United's lineup versus Chelsea, says the White Walker, is De Gea, Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Maguire, Shaw, Fred, McTominay, Fernandes, Rashford, Greenwood, James, which is what we've got on the screen anyway. I think once we knew the starters, you could get there. Has the 6-1 defeat to Spurs made us more defensive, says Salah Ahmed? Well, it shouldn't have done, because we got beat 6-1 by Spurs because of Maguire and because Martial got sent off. But I would have played Martial today as the number 9 unless he's carrying a knock, which he must be. I'm not going to do it, but I'm not going to go on that. It's not actually officially in the lineup, but we think that will be the lineup. Yes, we do. Can I just say 2 things as well for the early people who are here early? Please subscribe, bottom right hand corner. We're trying to get up to 1 million now, and we are very close to 995,000. It'll be the final 5 down if we can get to 995. I'll tell you how. I think we're about 400 away. So bottom right hand corner to subscribe. And if you have already subscribed, please share the video. Just click share and subscribe it. That really helps. And also, what was I going to say? Yeah, bottom right hand corner to subscribe. Mark, Willian is back to his best, says Zane Miassi. Yeah, but I thought your fan base hated Willian. Anyway, enough of Arsenal. The second thing is United stand picks. Links in the video description. If you've already downloaded the app, don't forget to play, because there's another 12 questions and there's another £1,000 cash pot prize to win for the game today. Questions such as, will Man United score in the first half? Yes or no. Will they score in the second half? Yes or no. How many goals will United score? Will Bruno score? Yes or no. Will Rashford get an assist? Yes or no. How many shots on targets will Bruno have? Will Man United score a penalty? Yes or no. Will Rashford score? Yes or no. There's 12 questions. How many saves will De Gea make? 12 questions, all to do with the game. It's free to enter, but you must be over 18 because we're giving away cash prizes. So you've got to be over 18. It's free to enter. The link is in the video description to play. 12 questions to do with this game. There's a live leaderboard that is running during the game that you can keep an eye on. So free to enter, but you must be over 18 because we are giving away cash prizes. We've got another £1,000 prize pot for this game. Give it a download. Links in the video description. You've got up until 5 minutes before kickoff to play for this game. And if you've already downloaded it, you may as well play it because it's free to enter. You must be over 18. Terms and conditions are in the video description, and to play responsibly. The clock shouldn't even be on. Sorry about that. So we'll turn that off. This is going to be a hard watch. I have no confidence in this team creating chances or retaining possession. Yeah, I don't think that's a great United side. I've got to be honest. I don't think that's a good side at all. I think it's going to be very defensive. I think if that is the side, and I think we're pretty much sure that that is going to be the side now. If that is the side, you're going to see a back six where my fingers go across there. They're going to drop down. Bruno's going to get isolated. Rashford's going to have a lot of responsibility because he's going to have to defend a lot, as is Dan James. I'm not convinced Mason Greenwood is a... What a finish by Bale. What a finish by Gareth Bale. That is absolutely fantastic. That is class by Bale. Absolutely brilliant. You knew what he was going to do. He's back. That is superb. He gets the ball on the edge of the box. The defender is there, and he just takes it first time, using the defender as the guide to curl it into the bottom top. Well, it takes a touch and then goes bottom corner. No keeper in the world is going to save it. I think it's Son with the assist. What a front three Spurs have got. What a finish by Gareth Bale. I tell you what, if Spurs hit a bit of form, I think we'll be all right in relation to top four. But that is absolutely magnificent by Gareth Bale. Just to break the conversation for a moment. Absolutely brilliant. McTominay back after a bit of time out. Yeah. Absolutely, I'm happy that McTominay's playing. I'm happy McTominay's playing because I think that Matic would not have the legs for 2 games in 3 days. So I'm happy that he's playing. I'm feeling rough, says David Lee. Hope you feel better soon. Chelsea lineup is apparently, and we'll take it with a pinch of salt again until 3:30 when they're officially out. But Almighty Hedge says Chelsea lineup is Mendy, Azpilicueta, Rudiger, Christensen, Chilwell, Kante, Kovacic, Mount, Hudson-Odoi, Ziyech and Giroud. That would be a very surprising Chelsea lineup because it's not got Reece James in it. It's not got Alonso in it. It's got three very attacking players in Mount, Hudson-Odoi and Ziyech. I tell you what that is. That's a manager going, you know what? I ain't playing a back five against the team that's going to park the bus. I'm going to lose a defender and gain an attacker. And I would be worried if I was United because Kovacic and Kante on paper are much better than Fred and McTominay. And then Mount, Hudson-Odoi and Ziyech running at our back four with Giroud as a target man. I think Ollie hinted at it himself and I think he's right. Tuchel is a man that changes his team around a lot. And if they've gone back to a back four, then and they're going with more attacking players, then maybe it won't be the tight game we're thinking of. We're going to park the bus and hit on the brake 100%. There is no way that team, if that is the team, is playing expansive football. Dan James is going to be defending. Greenwood as a number 9, it's a massive opportunity for Greenwood, but I would have gone Martial. Unless he's injured, I would have gone Martial for the experience. It's a weird one. It's a weird one from Ollie, but there obviously might be some reason for it. Maybe Anthony Martial's carrying a knock. I don't know. Giroud at set pieces against zonal market. I think going into this game, I'm not negative. I predicted a draw on the before the preview. I feel that this game's got a draw, but it needs to go our way. And what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to hype up this United performance. Get prepared. And if it doesn't happen, it's going to be a happy surprise. But get prepared that United are not grabbing this game. We are not attacking in this game. We are going to give Chelsea the respect they probably shouldn't get, because they're not one of the best teams in the league. They're one of the form teams in the league, but they're not one of the best teams in the league. They're not a team you need to go and park the bus. We shouldn't be going to Stamford Bridge anymore and parking the bus. Like, we shouldn't be going to the Emirates and parking the bus. I don't mind us going to Anfield and the Etihad and playing defensive. But we should not be going to Chelsea and Spurs and Arsenal and teams like that parking the bus. We shouldn't be doing that anymore. But I think we're going to do that today. We are going to play very deep and we're going to try and hit them on the break with pace. We're going to give up possession. It's going to be defensive, backs to the wall. And that's what I'm expecting. And if it doesn't happen, I'll be standing up, clapping and saying, go on. This is it. This is it. This is the Ollie revolution. But I think we're going to see what we've been seeing for the last 2 years. Against the big teams, we will sit back and we will try and hit them on the break. Because he's scared to use some of the better players. And let's not forget, there are better players that could play today. There are better players. Eric Bailly would push that defensive line further up. Donny van der Beek would give us more creativity in the midfield. So he could play differently. But the reality is Maguire and Lindelof suit. And I was thinking about this the other day and I thought, why have I never mentioned this on a show before? The reason he picks Maguire and Lindelof is because Lindelof and Maguire will play deep. And the team will play deep. And that works well for pace on the break. If it is Giroud starting, that could be a masterstroke by Tuchel as he will bully Magalhaes. We should be going at them with McTominay pushing higher, says Matt Roseblade. Well, we think this is going to be the team. We don't know for sure yet, but we think that's going to be the team because we know that McTominay, Greenwood and Dan James are all starting in this game. So what are your thoughts on that? What are your thoughts on the game as we move towards it? I'm not massively worried, but I think Tuchel has shown he's shown a he's shown what he's all about, Thomas Tuchel, which is that he is all about changing things up. He won't stay the same way, tactically trying to win games. And I think it's going to be very interesting. But I've got to be honest. I don't really do ranting anymore. I don't do that. I have done it before in the past. And, if that's your cup of tea, that's fine. And maybe I'll be doing it during the game. But I don't do ranting about the team news anymore. I try and just stay, relaxed because I've seen Mourinho. I'll never forget, I was at the game. Chelsea against Manchester United under Mourinho. How many years ago would that be then? Was it 3 years ago? Maybe 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago. It was around April time anyway, and I was at the game, and the team news came out, and Chelsea were quite good then. I think it was the year they won the league actually, and I was like, "Ooh, good technique there from Red Guillon on the edge." I was like the team that he'd picked. It was the day where Herrera man marked Hazard, and I was like, "We're gonna lose. We're gonna bloody lose," and we won. And we've seen that many times when we've been doing watch-alongs on here that a team will get selected and you think we're going to lose and then we don't. So I don't overreact on the team. But I've got to say the big thing that really is very, very disappointing, and you could use other words other than disappointing, you can, that it's bloody obvious, absolutely 100% obvious that Eric Bailly is our best centre-back. It's obvious. Absolutely obvious. And yet here we are in the biggest game of our season so far, and it's Maguire and Lindelof again. And that is disappointing. That is not acceptable, I don't think. But what can we do about it? What can we do about it? I don't care if it's Maguire and Bailly. I don't care if it's Lindelof and Bailly. But it's constant now. And it's getting silly. But I'm still going to stick with a draw, regardless. I think our the way we set this, the way we've set our team up, is not a surprise. I've been saying it all week. But this, as I said, this constant use of Maguire Right, let's have a look what people are saying in the live comments. Just trying to see if there's anything more come out. I think we know both teams already. So, it's just been confirmed. De Gea, Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Maguire, Shaw, Fred, McTominay, Fernandes, Rashford, Greenwood, James. So it's as we've got it on the screen there. Absolutely that. There's no word yet as to why we've gone with that team, but I think the thing is, you get so excited about Manchester United playing, and I'm very excited, as I'm sure many of you are, but you get so excited about United playing, and then the team news sort of like, it's a bit like being it's a bit like being a beach ball, isn't it? I mean, I've never wondered what it's like to be a beach ball, but you're full of air. You're full of air and you just want to be patted about, and you're excited, you're bouncing all over the beach on a windy day, and then Ollie grabs you and sticks a pin in you. It doesn't quite ruin you, but you're not as full as you were. I just feel a little bit deflated by the team news again. Not to the extent that I think we're going to lose, not to the extent that I'm going to start saying stupid things like Ollie out, he's clueless, this, that and the other, but I am deflated by that team a little bit, because I don't like the idea of Manchester United going into every game parking the bus that's a big traditional top six game, and we are going to do that. I don't see any creativity in that team. We can talk about Eric Bailly. Who would you rather have, Mark, Varane or Koulibaly? Says Paul Conley. Varane. Is James a right winger? Says Lee Preston. And Mark, what do you think of Alessandro Bastoni? Left-footed centre-back, 21 years old, tall, good, pace, will cost about 50 million euros. Says Bradley. And that is not the team, says Joshua Devine. That is the team, Joshua Devine. It is the team. Ayeston says stop judging. I think Ayeston doesn't understand the context of fan channels. Maybe piss off to the mainstream media, mate. Stop judging. Football opinion is all about judging, you prat. If it's not for you, go and read the BBC website or something like that. That is the team. De Gea, Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Maguire, Shaw, Fred, McTominay, Fernandes, Rashford, Greenwood, James. So that is the team. The team we've got on the screen is the team that is playing against Chelsea. Officially, it will be put out from Manchester United in a moment, but that is the team as it is. There's two things that bother me about that team that deflate me a little bit. Doesn't mean we're not going to win. I still think we can get a draw. The two things that bother me about that: do you think choosing Lindelof and Maguire is out of stubbornness now? Says Luffy. I don't know what it is. Davaran. I don't know what it is. I can't pronounce your first name. I don't know what it is. Is this Ollie, is favouritism coming through again? Mark, says Rich William. As I said to Flex, I don't see us winning today. It hurts, but I've got to be truthful. A draw at the most, but we need to win this, says Easy George Bale. With today's tactics, man Mark Bruno, when we have zero creativity, it's so predictable, says Siggy Johnson. That is the team, Joshua. He's even done a super chat about it. It is the team. And the team on the screen is the team. Yeah. It is the team. James Norris says it's not been... That's the team. You can wait for 6 minutes for the official team. That's the team. I can't tell you that's the team enough. I don't know what the bench is, but that's the team, right? Can we move on from that? So what I want to say is that there's two things that bother me about that team. So let's get into the team. First of all, there's shit all creativity in that team. As somebody just said there, if Bruno even gets the ball, what's he got around him? There's not enough creativity in that team. Let's not forget McTominay's coming back from not playing for a few games, so probably won't be match sharp. Fred's got no creativity in him. I don't see the fullbacks getting forward much. I think Tuchel has picked a team that's going to pin us back. We're very much set up to play on the break, of course. So I worry about the lack of creativity. And I absolutely cannot, and have not been able to defend this for a long time anyway, but cannot defend why we're picking Maguire and Lindelof. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. It's not even a contentious thing. I think over the years, sometimes you have a preference for a certain player over a manager, so you want that to happen. But I can't even talk about this anymore, Maguire and Lindelof. It's baffling. It really is baffling how Solskjaer keeps doing it. I don't really have any words to say because I feel that they've been spoken enough over the last 6 months. And it's gone beyond a point to me now with Maguire and Lindelof that if they play well today and we win 1-0, people will say, oh, back Maguire and Lindelof. We've gone past that. I'm not saying they couldn't have a good game today. They've had good games in the past. But we're past that now. This is beyond... I don't know whether it's favouritism, stubbornness, naivety, but we're past it. Like there's no coming back for Maguire and Lindelof for me. There is no coming back. We just have to put up with it. If they play well today and we get a clean sheet, I won't go, well, they can still work. They're never going to work. They're never going to work in relation to where we want to go as a football club. So I don't really have a lot of things to say about Maguire and Lindelof anymore because to me it's so obvious that our best partnership has got Eric Bailly in it. He's fit and he's on the bench for these two. It's baffling. I can't say anything more. I don't get it. And yeah, I have got nothing to say about that. The team is not official, but I'm telling you that's the team. This has been done before. And if you remember when we played Liverpool, I had the team up 3 hours before. It was tweeted out 3 hours before and it was right. So that's the team. If you don't want to believe it or not, you're going to be sitting down in 3 minutes. Bay to play against Thursday due to Ibrahimovic. Well, we're not playing on Thursday. I think some people think we're playing on Thursday for some reason. We're not playing on Thursday. We're playing Crystal Palace on Wednesday. So maybe Eric Bailly will play against Crystal Palace on Wednesday. But yeah, it's not going to be that. Maguire Lindelof, masterclass incoming. But our best centre-back is not going to start, is he? That's the case. But I think the surprising starter is going to be Mason Greenwood at number 9. That's the one that really is interesting. And maybe there's an injury to Anthony Martial, but I do think it's interesting on a very, very, very high level how he's gone back to Maguire and Lindelof, but what do you expect? Ooh, good shot by Harry Kane there. I want to translate this tweet. Why won't it trans? Ahmed's on the bench. Ahmed's on the bench, yes. Ahmed's on the bench. That's just been confirmed by somebody. Journalist Frederick Filvet. Ahmed is on the bench for this game. So, yeah, there we go. So, what are your thoughts, everybody? Let's have a look what people are saying. Thanks everyone who's doing the super chats. But you can do that through the $ if you so wish. This is the real team on the left. It's going to come out on Instagram or Twitter in a minute. This is the real team. Fred is not starting, says Colin. And Amad Diallo is on the bench. Yes, Mohammed. Exactly. I like it because they're ready to blame Martial. In that way, he comes in safe. And who would they blame, says Ron Terrence. Yeah, a few people are happy that Martial's not starting. This hurts how cowardly Ollie is, says Hassan. Doesn't mean we're not going to get a result today. Doesn't mean we're not going to get a result. But if I was describing this team, and you look at the criticism after the Arsenal game and after the Liverpool games, 0-0. Both of those were in January, I think, weren't they? The criticism that came in from the media and ex-players and a lot of you was that when we play Arsenal, when we play Chelsea, when we play Liverpool, when we play Man City, when we play Spurs, we play with no creativity, no ambition, and we basically play the most basic form of football tactics that there is, which is park the bus and hit people on the break with pace. Very, very basic. And that's what I've been expecting all week. It doesn't mean we can't not win. We can win. I mean, Ollie's record in 4 games against Tuchel is 2 wins and 2 losses. So it's going to go one way or the other. They've never drawn. Choosing Maguire and Lindelof is like driving some old Beetle which keeps breaking while you have some new Mercedes in your garage. But you want to prove everyone that a Beetle can do the job, says Matteo. And Chelsea don't create many goals and we won't have the ball either, predicting a dour stalemate. Well, Kay, I think that's basically what I would have said in the preview. But the way, if you've not been listening, the way Chelsea have set up is quite interesting in the sense that they've not gone with a back 5. They've gone more on the front foot. They've gone with a back 4 and they've played Ziyech, Mount and Hudson-Odoi. So they've gone on the front foot with that. And Let's just have a look who's on the bench. Oh, what a surprise. Everyone who was telling me that's not the team, can you sit down and get comfortable with a comfortable cushion? I told you that was the team. Oh, it's a predicted team. That's not the team. It's a back five. That is the team. And it has been the team for the last 15 minutes. So sit down and show some bloody respect. I'm only joking. I knew it was the team. I wouldn't put the team on there and say that's the team if I didn't know it was the team, because there's 20,000 people watching and you don't want to be that prat. So, yeah. The bench, in addition to that team, De Gea, Lindelof, Maguire, De Gea, Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Maguire, Shaw, McFred, Bruno, James, James, Rashford, Greenwood. Martial's on the bench. Ahmad's on the bench. Van der Beek's on the bench. Matic is on the bench. Williams, Twansebi, Telles, Bay and Henderson. Very few attacking options on that bench. Van der Beek, Martial and Ahmed are literally it. I've got to say, I'm absolutely not, and I'm going to be honest here, I'm not happy with Martial not starting at number 9. Greenwood at striker is exciting. Let's have it, says Buster. I hope Mason Greenwood is going to have an absolute cracking game today. I really hope he is. But I don't... Have we... I mean, look, this could be this. It is exciting. I agree. It's very exciting. But you've got a lad in Anthony Martial who can play that position. And... we're going with a 19-year-old up front against Chelsea's centre-backs, who I'm not going to pretend are amazing, and Dan James on the wing, and Martial on the bench. Maybe he's got a nick, maybe he's got a knock, maybe he's just been dropped. Who knows? He might put Rashford at number 9. Yeah, he might put Rashford at number 9, but I hope he doesn't. I really hope Mason is playing at number 9, and I hope he has a worldie, because... If we're playing Rashford at number 9, then we're putting Dan James on the left and Greenwood on the right, which we can do. We can do. But I knew it's the team because I trust you, but I don't know how these journos get the team news early. It kind of kills the build up to the game, says Sharath Kamath. Yeah, but this is why we used to go live an hour. No, you remember United Stand used to go live an hour before kickoff, because that's when the team news used to come in. I now go live an hour and a half before kickoff, because more and more the team is coming out half an hour before the official team comes out. So I agree with you, Sharath. It is annoying, but it is being... I mean, look, that Liverpool game, I had the team news at 1 o'clock. It was a 4:30 kickoff. And you're sort of like, nah, that can't be right. And then it happens and you go, wow. And the fact that you had the team, actually then it's exciting, but then you think, fucking hell. If we're getting the team 4.5 hours before kickoff, 3.5 hours before kickoff, sorry, crap maths. Well, that means the whole world know how we're playing 3.5 hours before. It's not good. Okay, and choosing Lindelof is like having to play Sanchez on the left. Maybe something in contract, demand from above. Ollie must know Bay is better. The fact that he probably doesn't know that Eric Bay is better is terrifying. Thanks for the super chats. You can do that through the $. And please do subscribe. I keep biting the inside of my mouth. I've done it again. Please subscribe. Bottom right hand corner. We're trying to get to 999. I can't get my words out. 995,000. It is a bit of a mouthful. That's what she said. 995,000 we're going for. Bottom right hand corner before kickoff. We are currently, and we're on this road to 1 million, which is amazing. We're currently 300 subscribers away. So bottom right hand corner, please click the button and subscribe. Ricky's fuming, Mark. No, Ricky will be happy that Dan James is starting. I don't know whether Chelsea are playing a back five or not. The Chelsea team news, I'm just going to confirm it for you, but I know that they're playing Mount, Hudson-Odoi and Ziyech. Now, that could be seen as a positive or a negative, because Chelsea haven't really used Ziyech this season. He's not really hit the heights. Big game for him. Mendy, Azpilicueta, Christensen, Rudiger, Hudson-Odoi, Kovacic, Kante, Chilwell, Ziyech, Mount and Giroud. Now, it could be a back five with Hudson-Odoi as a right wing-back and Chilwell as a left wing-back, with Ziyech and Mount behind Giroud, with Kante and Kovacic. That's how they have been playing, sort of like a 5-2-2-1. They could do that, or they could do a back four with Chilwell and Azpilicueta, with Rudiger on the right, Ziyech on the left, Mount central, midfield 2 and Giroud. So it could be a 4-2-3-1 like we play, or it could be a 5-2-2-1, which is what they normally play. Now, the reason I think it's a back four is because he doesn't play Chilwell as a left wing back. He prefers Alonso, and Alonso is on the bench. And I'm just wondering whether he's matching up systems. It could be a back four, it could be a back five with wing backs. We'll have to wait and see. On their bench, Pulisic is on there, Werner's on there, Havertz is on there, Jorginho's on there. They've got a better bench than us, but they're not in a better league position than us, are they? So that doesn't necessarily mean anything. But look, the team that we've put out there doesn't mean we're not going to win the game. Somebody just said there, are you going to change your score prediction? I'll come back to that in a minute. I've just got a few super chats to catch up on. Daniel Harding says, Marky might play Rashford down the middle like against Liverpool. And that worked really well, didn't it? Why ain't Matic starting? He was our best player Thursday, apart from the centre-back. Surely he's Scott in. Don't understand what these coaches are doing. I don't think, Sean Negative Turner there, I don't think Matic can play 2 games in 3 days anymore. Sean, I said that in the preview. I don't think he can. Really sick of seeing these 2 knobheads at the back. How can Ollie not start Eric? Says Cade, mate. I feel your pain. I can't really add anything to that. I can't. What is a Man United fan supposed to think about Maguire and Lindelof? If you don't want Maguire and Lindelof to play, if you think Bailly should be playing, what are you supposed to do? The manager has made his choice again. We predicted it. It's very frustrating, but what are we supposed to do? Ollie might not or might not succeed, but I'll always respect him for treating De Gea with respect. He respects loyalty to Sharath Kamath Fitness. I totally agreed with you last night about these sound bites for the club put out every year. Just keep the fans on side, says Rich William. Shane McInerney says Bay is either terrible in training or genuinely made of glass. There must be something up to prevent him from playing week in, week out, says Shane. Also, is this part of the bus and hit on the brake tactic against the big teams not the same as what Jose was doing, says Jacob? Fair point. Stephen Barr says, what at all does Ollie want to prove with Maguire and Lindelof? And Jerome T. Green, McTominay and Fred with Bruno. Bruno is the only creative player. If he's shut down, United will not be creating any chances once again. And Rashford is at 9, confirmed by United, and Chelsea are playing 5 at the back, confirmed by Chelsea. Says Hadrian 1. Thank you for that, Hadrian. I'll change the team. Maguire and Lindelof are Ferdinand and Vidic at the back end of their career. They needed Evans to get the best out of them. Bay is Maguire and Lindelof's Johnny Evans. Baffling that Ollie doesn't see this, says Tarley. Giroud playing so no real pace up top. Chelsea perfect chance for us to play Bay and push up an extra 20 yards. Feels like a missed opportunity in that regard. Good point, Gerard. Martial has been rightly dropped. James and Greenwood are in better form. Low-key excited about the front 3. Why are we playing Magaluf, says Pranay. But, mate, the thing I would say about that is that Martial played well on Thursday night as a number 9 against the decent Real Sociedad side. So I don't feel that dropping him completely after his performance on Thursday is justified. I disagree with that, but I know a lot of people. I know I'll be in the minority with that, and I can take that. I'm not bothered. It's probably what you'd call an unpopular opinion, but that's what I think. I think he's still going to play 5 at the back, Mark. He knows United are going to play on the counter. That's why he's playing Chilwell and not Alonso, says Bradley. And feels like Mourinho Dinosaur Tactics 2.0. Should Ollie still be in the job next season if he's not using the squad to the best of their ability, says Julian. Mark, I don't get it. With Eric Bayer, we are 10 wins. We are 10 wins, 2 draws and 1 loss with 8 clean sheets, says DJ. Interesting. You said that Ollie is set up to fail, and I agree, but I would say Ollie out. Might as well play good ball rather than having panic attacks the whole game, says Stepanshu. Yeah, I think that I'm just taking some notes for the full-time match because for the match reaction because I like to revisit them. You can guess some of the stuff that it is. But I always like to write it down before the game because it's then, do you get proved wrong? Do you get proved right? Samuel says people complaining about tactics when the game hasn't even started. It's a very good point, Samuel, but look, it's football. It's football opinion, isn't it? That's what it's always going to be about. And I think that we, as football fans, have got every right to sort of predict where we're going to go. And I think that the concern around the predictions is this, that we have played Chelsea this season at Old Trafford, we parked the bus. We played Man City at Old Trafford, we parked the bus. We played Liverpool at Anfield, we parked the bus. We played Arsenal at Old Trafford, we parked the bus. We played Arsenal at the Emirates, we parked the bus. Now, we did have chances in those games, but the basic tactic was play deep and hit on the break. Now, the Maguire and Lindelof thing is based on that. It's based on that. He doesn't want to play Eric Bailly because Eric Bailly is a player that pushes the team forward. He doesn't want to push forward. When you actually look at it, he doesn't want that to happen. And I'm wondering if we can just demonstrate it. I don't know how well we're set up. Oh, we can. So, effectively, let me just grab hold of one of those two. So, with Maguire and Lindelof, you play like this. You pull them all back. Just focus on the back six. The rest of them actually isn't the team. So this is how we're going to play against Chelsea. And effectively, obviously Martial's not playing. Cavani's not playing, sorry. Rashford, take him out. Oh, I can't see this myself. My eyes aren't good enough. Yeah, you're not playing Martial either. So Dan James probably... What? Why is Dan James not moving there? Dan James is probably going to play here. Martial... Sorry, Rashford's there. And where's Greenwood? Is that Greenwood? That's fun debate. Greenwood's there. Okay, so this is the concern for this game tactically, is that there's this huge gap. We spoke about this against Liverpool. This is what people's problem is, that you end up with this huge gap here. Not a huge ball, a huge gap all around here, where Bruno and Rashford and James and Greenwood get isolated because we're playing such a deep line here. Now, I'm not going to do it, but if you play Eric Bailly, it might not be massive, but you move forward 10 metres. And that gap, Fred would be a little bit forward, that gap is no longer a massive gap anymore. And that's the thing. These two drop the whole team back and isolate the attack. When you play Eric Bailly, you play higher up the pitch. Now, that to me is why Ollie picks Maguire and Lindelof in these games. Because he's going to play deep. And he knows that Maguire and Lindelof want to play deep because they're scared, they're terrified of pace. So he knows automatically that Maguire and Lindelof will play deep. And he'll tell McFred to stay in front of them. And it deprives the opposition of space. So you've always got a better chance of getting a clean sheet when you play like that. Now, when you play Eric Bailly, he wants to play further forward. And he wants to push the team further forward. Well, Ollie doesn't want to play like that. So I think the only explanation I can give is that he wants to play this way. He wants to play this brand of football. He wants to play deep. And therefore, he picks Maguire and Lindelof. Because, to be honest with you, somebody just said there, I don't agree. Well, you don't have to agree. But what you do have to do is try and find a reason why he picks Maguire and Lindelof. Because the only reason, it can't be because we play better as a team with them. We don't. We don't. They're bubble wrap FC. We know that. The fullbacks tuck in. McFred stay in front of them. They make us a defensive side. So, and Ollie doesn't want to be a defensive side, apparently. So, Maguire and Lindelof don't make us play expansive, entertaining football. They make us play retractive, defensive football. Well, the manager has got Eric Bailly. As I said, my favourite half an hour from Manchester United this season was the... well, actually, both Real Sociedad games I liked, and that was with Eric Bailly. And the first half an hour against Everton at Goodison in the Carabao Cup just before Christmas with Eric Bailly. That's the best I think we've played as a team. Not the best result, but the best we've played as a team. We played on the front foot, we played high up the pitch, and we deprived the opposition. So I think that's the best way of playing. Lindelof contribution is hitting the long, precise pass on the break, as to Rashford against Sheffield United in December. Oh, great, Oscar. So we're now picking a centre-back for one thing that happened in one game. Great. I thought a dull draw was written all over this, but seeing the Chelsea lineup, I think Tuchel's gone more attacking. Our back four will be under the gun, says Greg. You skydiving for the 1 million subscriber video mark? If not, what will you do? I think you should show us your setup, says Fizzy. Flex wants me to do a skydive. I totally agreed with you. I've done that one. Thanks, Rich William. Thanks for the super chats that are coming in, by the way. Please smash a like on the video. Hey, Mark, I understand your point, but we always play Lindelof and Maguire 90% of the games, regardless of the opposition, says Attilia. Well, I don't know. You know what? I don't know. I suppose I'd probably, in a way, I don't want to open my eyes to the reality that the manager that I back prefers Lindelof and Maguire over Eric Bailly, because there are greater football brains than me that are understanding this. There are a lot of people who understand this. Mark, I think this is going to be a tight game, maybe not that exciting. I also think the game will boil down to the fullbacks. If Shaw and Wan play well, we win. Also attacking play, obviously, says Angie S. Counter-attacking only works if we have centre midfielders who move the ball quickly. McFred don't have that ability, more suited to Van der Beek with these tactics, says Gerard. And secondly, can I just say as well that, let me just show you the team because people are asking about it. I am worried about that front three. I don't worry about Bruno. I think Bruno will be dictated to by the quality of the ball that he gets and how much of that ball he gets. We all know that Bruno can play a bad pass, etc. But I'm not worried about Bruno, but I am worried about that front three. Dan James has literally had 5 minutes of good football, it feels, across the season. It's been a small cameo and suddenly he's playing first team football in a game like this. I certainly don't feel relaxed that Dan James is going to have a good game. Rashford, as we know, very good player, but in and out of games. I think he's probably been saved by Martial this season because Rashford's been a bit in and out of games. I think that's fair to say. And Greenwood hasn't played as a number 9 before and probably isn't playing as a number 9. But it's a front three that's very inexperienced as well. They're all very young. Greenwood's 19, Rashford's still very young. Dan James is very young in relation to his experience in the Premier League. So it's an inexperienced front three as well. To be honest, if I was Bruno, he won't give a shit. But I'd be looking forward and I'd be looking behind me and I'd be thinking, fucking hell, I'm going to struggle today. And I'd then look at that Chelsea lineup and go, Ziyech, Mason Mount, Kovacic. You know, they've got a lot of creativity. Marcus, Henrik, welcome to the Members Club. Ollie's done well against Tuchel away from home, and to be fair, we should have won in the home leg against PSG. Ollie has something up his sleeve, says Bradley. Nice, good. Let's hope it's just not a handkerchief. I wasn't able to catch a live stream during the week, but had to acknowledge this. That Swiss team, you take no chances, Mark, says Andrew Kelly. And how to play counter-attacking football when we got no one to give quality long passes from the back is a joke, says Minnie. Just seen the lineup, fed up with Maguire and Lindelof. McFred babysitting. Ollie really needs to get away from this, says Sam. Yeah, well, look, until the game actually kicks off, let's wait and see what happens. But I do agree, I do. As bad as it sounds, I would take not getting top 4 if it meant Ollie leaves or gets sacked. We will never win titles with his tactics and team selection, says Dynamo. Well, look, let's see how it starts off. I mean, we might play, I mean, it'd be suicidal, but he might play high, expansive football on the front foot. But, yeah, it's interesting, isn't it, how it will work. Sorry, I'm having to send a message to Flex. He might be a little bit late here. Okay, Chelsea Bents is ridiculous, says Zach. Well, this is what happens when you buy the amount of players that they bought. Spurs are going to win 4-0. Very good win for them. I'm not worried about Spurs. I might be a little bit worried about Spurs in the context of the Premier League, the Europa League, but not the Premier League. Welcome to United Stand Members Club, says Per. The Manchester United bench, for people who want to know it, I'll just get it confirmed, but I'm pretty sure I know it off the top of my head. Obviously, Henderson, Tellez, Bailly, Twansebi, Williams, Matic, Van der Beek, Amad Diallo, and Anthony Martial. So there's not a hell of a lot of depth in quality there for Manchester United today. in relation to that lineup. And Chelsea have obviously got people like Werner and Havertz and Pulisic. So they have got a lot of squad depth for them. Yeah. Hard game today. You know how long Cavani and Pogba are out, Mark. Love your content. Love from Sweden, says Isaac. I don't think Cavani's too far away. I mean, that's a good point. I hadn't even thought about that. I don't think Cavani's too far away from being back for Manchester United. I think he'll be back soon. Would you take Mustafi at centre-back? Says Callum Nolan. I think he'd be a great playing with Phil Jones. And after 5 years, we're still facing the same problem. Our defence and attack are disjointed. When will we have a manager with a real attacking philosophy? Says Julian. Back the players need to stop getting mad at the team selections. This is Ollie's best team apart from the centre forward and right winger, says Kevin Mowry. Well, Kevin, I think you make 2 points there. I nearly said bad points, but that's not. I don't want to say that's not fair. Back the players. Well, that's a very good point, Kevin. You need to stop getting mad at the team selections. Well, that's your opinion, and I think everyone has a right to have an opinion on the team. And this is Ollie's best team apart from the centre forward and right winger. But it's not his best team, is it? It might be his personal best team, but he doesn't own Manchester United, and he doesn't own the opinion that a fan has that Maguire and Lindelof are shite. And I don't like saying that, but they are. They're shit. They're a shit centre-back partnership. And they've been proven that over the last 7-8 months. And they worry everybody. And they cause a lot of chaos in our defence. And it's very difficult because I've always said give Ollie till May, and I'm never going to change that. But it's very difficult to 100% back a manager when they are making constant decisions like that. But we haven't kicked off yet, and we don't know how we're going to play. My strong prediction is deep line, very defensive, counter-attacking football. And I think the best thing we've had today so far is, how is this any different to the way Jose Mourinho played with Manchester United? Don't worry about the centre-back lineup. There's nothing we can do to make it average, says Lee Preston. And get the United stand to 1 million subscribers by the end of the show. We'd have to push it very, very hard because we're still just over 5,000 away. But please subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. We're trying to get to 995,000 before kickoff. So bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. And if you have subscribed and you want to click something, click the share button underneath and share it on Twitter and Facebook and smash a like on the video. But we are trying to get up to 995,000 before kickoff, and we're 200 away. So bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. We're live every night at 8 o'clock, every morning at 10 a.m. We've got shows in between, previews, transfer news. Obviously, we've got the fan forum after the game where we're live with KG and Flex and the lads. We've got the match reaction after the show where you can do your player ratings during the game in the second half. So lots to get involved in. Would you have been happy with Matic and McTominay? Fred has not been good enough recently. This next bit I'm saying as Bay has been dropped, says Lee Taylor. No, I think Fred's very important. I think I don't like Fred, Matic or McTominay as our CDM. I don't think any of them are good enough, but I think Fred gives you something different that McTominay and Matic doesn't. He gives you mobility and tenacity. It doesn't give you passing range, but Bay and Lindelof is our best centre-back partnership. I keep saying it, says Pisco. And instead of playing to win, just felt that we always try not to lose first. Expect to see lots of side passing, says Minnie. Hi, Mark. It's only a matter of time before our Bruno becomes fed up with these tactics, don't you think, says Andy and Bruno. Flex will be on in about 5 minutes, Denzel. Kickoff's not for another 35 minutes. I suppose the obvious thing is to say, what would my team be compared to that? I would play Bay where Lindelof is. I would play Martial where Greenwood is. And I would play the same team. It's only 2 changes. And I've got no problem with Mason Greenwood playing up front. I'm not like, it's not the same as the Bay issue. I just would have played Martial in this game because I think he's the more experienced of the two. And it's a game where we can't afford Mason Greenwood to not play well. But to be honest with you, I'm probably not explaining it very well because the graphic is wrong. As we know, the graphic is wrong, and I need to change it because... Why is it doing this? I can't. There we go. So Rashford's going to play at number 10. Rashford is number 10. He's going to play at number 9. Mason Greenwood is going to go here. And Dan James is going to go here. This is what the actual team is. So the change I would have made would have been Mason Greenwood coming out of the team, Dan James going to the right, Rashford going to the left, and Martial down the middle. I don't like Rashford as a number 9. He can't play with his back to goal. We are basically relying on a ball over the top and Rashford's pace. The hold-up play, the ability to play with the back to ball, Rashford, I don't think, can do that. So I wouldn't have played Rashford as number 9 today. Now, if Greenwood's playing there, that's a big risk in itself because of inexperience, but we don't think that's going to happen anyway. But I would have only made 2 changes to that team. I would have took Greenwood out and put Martial in, and I would have put Lindelof out and Bailly in. But the whole team would have changed with Bailly in it because we would have played more on the front foot. We need to start quick and put them under pressure, says Lewis Ellis. And you underrate Matic. I don't underrate Matic. I just don't think he's fit enough to play 2 games in 3 days, as I've said about 5 times on this show. Do you ever get the feeling that Ollie keeps playing this arsed centre-back pairing because he's making a point to the board? Hard to believe he's blind to everything, says Jibak. Well, why would you do that? Because if we don't finish in the top 4, he'll get sacked. So why would you pick a centre-back pairing that could get you sacked? Did you know that Tuchel tried to bring Bruno to PSG? Bailly playing against Giroud means we could have held a higher line. Amazing content. Love from India, says Enarud. Thank you for the contribution from Ross Gunn as well. Hey Mark, it's a daily ritual for me, says Devontae. Matic has been poor this season. Hope he can turn it around. I just don't think he can. I don't think he can play 2 games in 3 days. I think that's the problem with Nemanja Matic. And absolutely no one's place should be safe, says Jack Bollard. And who do you think will have an impact for each team, says Joshua Rivas. I really do. Balls over the top for Rashford, says Roy. Exactly. I think that's exactly what we're going to do. And it's a back 5, James and Wan-Bissaka as wing-backs, says Yellow Bathing Suits. James and Wan-Bissaka as wing-backs. James would be there. Greenwood and Rashford, about 3-5-3-2. I tell you what, if it is that, it's interesting. And look, now that's why you've always got to wait till kick-off, isn't it? Because to me, even if it's a back 5, it's still going to be very defensive. But I tell you what, if it's a back 5, that's either ridiculously brave or ridiculously stupid. Because we don't have time to change formations in between games and work on them. So you're asking a team to play a back 5 that they haven't done in months. And they certainly haven't had the time to practice for. So I hope it's not a back 5. And if it was a back 5, like Mike says, why would you not play Telles? Because Luke Shaw can tuck in. Or why would you not play Eric Bailly? Or why would you not play Twan Sebi? Why would you play a back 5, move a left back to left centre back and put a winger at left wing back who's been playing at right wing? I don't think it is a back 5. Because if you were playing a back 5, you would surely play better people. Aresh says, do you think Bruno's going to disappear like usual? Why is Ollie selecting Magaluf, says Tariq. And that's not my best team. I meant that's Ollie's personal opinion since he always goes back to it. All right, Kevin, sorry. Yeah, I see what you mean then, yeah. You're not wrong. I hope in half an hour when this game kicks off that team plays completely different to what I'm predicting. But I always go off evidence, and I think Leicester will not finish in the top 4 because they bottled it last year. Doesn't mean they will bottle it this year, but I'll go off the evidence. I don't think they've got enough squad depth when they get injured. I think Manchester United are going to park the bus and try and hit on the brake, and therefore there's a big risk that Bruno will have a quiet game, because this is what we did against Chelsea at Old Trafford. This is what we did with Liverpool at Anfield. This is what we did against Arsenal twice this season. This is what we did against Man City. This is what we do against the traditional top 6. We pick Magaluf, we pick McFred, we go and park our tents on the edge of our own box, and we try and hit teams on the break. And it worked really well last year. We beat Man City last year twice, and we beat Chelsea last year twice. But the trouble about playing basic tactics is that it doesn't ambush teams for very long. I don't think Tuchel's going to be stupid enough to get ambushed. He got ambushed by these very same tactics the night that Rashford scored that penalty in Paris. So I don't think he's going to get ambushed. But it might work. It might work. Fast centre-back and Ollie will play his style like versus Everton, says Harry's plays. But we've got a fast centre-back and his name's Eric Bailly. You can't keep pretending that when we buy a fast centre-back we'll be fine. We've got 2 already. Twansebi is fast and so is Eric Bailly. And Eric Bailly has proven that he's good enough. Ollie continues to put himself before the club. This is about not losing and keeping his job. The lack of ambition is shocking. Bruno's going to lose his mind today, says Matthew O'Donnell. Interesting point, that. Interesting point. Right, let's see if we can get old Flex on the live live chat. Can I just say before we do that, United Stand picks, free to play. Links in the video description. You've got 25 minutes to get entered. 12 questions all about the game. Will Bruno score? Will Rashford get an assist? Will we score in the first half? 12 questions. Everyone you get right will get you higher up the live leaderboard. They're all to do with the game, and you've got to get your answers in before the game kicks off. There's a live leaderboard while the game's ongoing. £1,000 cash prize pot available again. It's free to enter, but you must be over 18 because we are giving away cash prizes. The link is in the video description to download it and play it. If you've already downloaded it on previous weeks, you may as well go on it and play because it's free to play. Terms and conditions are in the video description, and please play responsibly because you do have to be over 18, but it is free to enter and £1,000 cash prize pot. Get on it. Get on it. Links in the video description. Would you swap Martial plus 20 million for Sancho, says Ali Morgan? Yes. On the United app, we play 4-2-3-1, not a back 5. Hopefully we win this and we get some ins. Get some get-ins, says God. Mark Anthony 83, thank you very much for the members club there. Don't you think Maguire will much prefer playing with Bailly? Surely he feels much more comfortable with Bailly compared to Lindelof, says Leon. I think it is Leon. I've said this so many times, and thanks for the super chats. You can do that through the $ if you want to. Please subscribe. Want to hit 995,000 before kickoff? That would be great. Maybe we'll win if we hit 995,000 before kickoff. So please subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. Ollie is talking to the press, so I will get you those quotes in a minute. But, yeah, it's a massive game, isn't it? Absolutely massive game, and I think we do need to win it. But, well, no, we can't lose it. And I think we've picked a team not to lose. And I think that's probably the best line I could have said all along. Flex, can you hear me? Don't think you can.
Yo.
Hi, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. I can hear you.
What's your thoughts on the team?
Yeah, I'm never ever surprised with the Lindelof buy situation, or just the buy situation. I just don't. It is not going to change. Like, I've stopped getting pissed off about it. It's like I'm immune to it. I don't even look at it and go, but why is he doing this? But why? But why? He made his choice ages ago. And the way I see it is more for me for keep getting pissed off about it all the time, because you just look at it and it's such an obvious thing to sort out. But Ollie, it's not like he can't see it. So it's like you said, it's not like he can't see that Eric Bailly is the best. He's just made his choice, and for whatever reason, he doesn't believe that he is. So it shows like a bad, level of judgment for me. That's what it shows. So we have to just. I just understand that now with Ollie. So I've stopped moaning about that, even though technically I've just moaned.
Well, but it's just us on that, because I know it's a massive issue. It's a massive issue, and I'm like you. I'm just so beyond this.
Bored. Yeah,
I cannot understand. One of the first things I said at full time on Thursday was that without a shadow of a doubt, it is so clear to anybody that our best centre-back is Bailly, and whatever you do, you pick Bailly and one of the others. And what does he do in the very next game? A big, massive game, he drops Bailly. And it is boring, like Joshy says, because you're talking to a brick wall. He just won't listen. And I suppose the main thing I was going to say is, why do you think he does it? Why can he not see not only what we can't see, but what ex-players have been saying, what the media is saying? Everybody says it, but he doesn't do it.
This is a mad thing to try and think about, because you've got to try and put yourself in a position where you can't think like that. So if anything happens like that and someone thinks something that you can't see, it's very difficult to put yourself in their shoes and make a case. The only thing I'm thinking is that he thinks that Eric Bailly is just prone to the injuries, the situation. The last 8 results, man, not enough wins at all. The injury situation, and even though Bailly's got Lindelof's got the bad back, so he has to use Bailly sometimes. I think he still knows, even if Lindelof shakes off that back injury, he's more than likely going to be more available than Bailly. And I think as well, yes, they understand he's quick for certain games, but I think that Ollie thinks he's got one too many mistakes in him, which he hasn't even been doing recently. You know, like the crazy Eric Bailly kind of thing where he just does something crazy. I think he prefers the easier on the eye Lindelof. Do you know what I mean? Just neat, tidy, just not going to do anything crazy. You know, just go about his business quietly. But it is bullshit because when you need that physicality, when you need that pace, which is turning out to be in most games, in these critical games as well. You need Eric Bailly. The second thing about the team news that I was going to say is I kind of think that Mason will be up front. I know you've put it as Rashford. You think it'll probably be Rashford, but I mean, obviously we wait to see how they line up. But I'm really surprised if it is Greenwood over Martial.
I was going to say that I would have I would have picked Martial, and I know
I wouldn't have done that.
That's an unpopular opinion, Flex, because a lot of people are saying nah, Martial shit, get him out of the team and this, that, and the other. But
I still would have played him in this because to play number 9, Mason as a 9, I think where he's progressed. Look, you can't just keep moving him pillar to post. You know, that's not to say he can't play well today because he can. He's
when he played. Did he play number 9? Talent. He played number 9 against. Somebody.
He did it against. I remember he did it last year against Tottenham, and he played number 9.
He played recently at number 9. If somebody in the live comments, I don't know whether it was. I don't think it was Sociedad.
No, it was. Was it Newcastle? No, he didn't start Newcastle. Oh,
I think it was Newcastle. I think it might have been
Newcastle.
Yeah, because we didn't play very well, did we?
West Ham in the cup. People are putting.
It must have been West Ham in the cup. It was recently, and he didn't do particularly well.
Didn't look particularly. Yeah, it didn't look particularly well there. People saying Watford as well. They got them. I just think he's coming. What Mason has proved to me in the last couple of months or month and a half, should I say? Which Ricky disagreed with me, obviously. That I think Mason's learning the right wing position better. Like I think he's starting to understand his responsibilities better. When he's off the ball, where to be, how to carry the ball, how to influence the game a bit more than just kind of cutting in and shooting from the right-hand side. And then you want to try and shoehorn him into number 9 in such a big game. So, and he's young and he's just trying to learn the right-hand side. So I don't know. That makes me feel uncomfortable. It could be Rashford at number 9, which makes me feel uncomfortable for different reasons, like you touched on. His back to goal play is not the best. I just don't think he's strong enough to lead the line, Marcus. And he's much more comfortable from the left. I think that is his best position. So hopefully he's not put out of joint. And the Dan James thing, I don't really mind that, Mark. I don't know how you feel about the Dan James thing. I can see that he was playing himself into form and that he was starting to get back to that where Ollie's going, right, okay, we're going to try and use his strengths. And actually,
I would have picked James today.
You think about how Tuchel and Chelsea, they might not be firing up front and creating loads of chances, but they're defensively solid and they dominate the ball. And when they do that in transition, we're going to need to get at their wing backs. And I think it's not even Alonso today, is it? It's Chilwell. So I don't mind him playing today at all.
James R, just a few super chats. He says, I'm so excited for such an epic match today. Hope I'm excited for the game. I don't think it's going to be an epic.
I don't think it's going to be epic.
Kieran says, I'm seriously going to be worried about making top 4 if we lose today. Draws aren't good enough. Either we need a win. Ali Morgan says,
Draws not the end of the world.
Ollie is a prat. When will he learn? Magloff is terrible and he's just said McTominay only trained yesterday. And not playing Martial and Donny is a bigger travesty than beans on Weetabix, says Santiago. I mean, look, just I'll give you Ollie's quotes actually here, just so we can go through that. So, no acknowledgement about Eric Bailly, of course. No acknowledgement about Martial. He's just dropped him. But he says we've got to be good on the ball, really good on the ball, because we know they're going to come and press. We need to play through the press, get at the back line, whatever it is, 3, 4 or 5 of them. And he also said, we're delighted to have McTominay back. He's important for us. We gave him as much time and rest as possible. He joined in training yesterday and there was no reaction this morning. So,
see, that's a risk, you know. That's a risk. In a midfield with, is it Kovacic starting it, isn't it?
Kovacic, Kante.
With Kovacic and Kante doing a bit of madness in there, physical, and then they'll have the 3 up front, won't they? They'll have Mason Mount on the left or right and then Ziyech on the other side.
Well, there's 2 things there that you said. The McTominay thing is a risk, but look, to say that we've got to be really good on the ball today, we're going to have to pass through their press. Hold on a minute. Who are we passing through the press with then? McTominay, Fred. I mean, Jesus Christ.
And Bruno, link up, Mark. We're going to dominate midfield.
They are not play. Why would you not play Van de Beek? Like, Van de Beek can actually pass.
Because he thinks Van de Beek's shit.
He's talking like the way he's talking. I mean, maybe this is the problem with Ollie. Maybe in his head he thinks we're turning into prime Barcelona here. They're going to press us and we're just going to triangle our way all the way through to the edge and then we're going to score 3 goals. I can't see us passing our way through. He's basically saying we've got to get through their press to get at their back 4 or 5. I mean, well, one, they're not going to play a back 5 against us.
We need to avoid their press and go over it. And get in behind.
Do you realise the biggest gap between any 2 teams in the table is between first and second? So this second is quickly becoming a Jose second, says Deve. And playing Martial would mean playing with 10 men. I'd rather see Mata than sending Martial in. See, I mean, look, I can't.
Oh, come on, man.
It's an unpopular opinion that we have about Martial because people have given up on him. I said this on Thursday night. People have already given up on Martial, so there's not really much point talking about.
He's not playing very well. Don't get it twisted. I'm not out
he
here.
He looked better on Thursday though. I thought he played the 9 role well.
He played well. He just couldn't hit the back of the net against Sociedad, but he did play well. The performances before that hasn't covered himself in career. I know it's easy to just quickly say we just don't create chance for the forwards, but you have to take care of your own performance. And if you look at him, is he doing everything possible to make sure he drops at least a 7 out of 10? I would say no. But that's not. I still, again, like you said, played okay against Sociedad. Get back into form. I still would have played him for how smart he is on the ball and the way he knows how to play the number 9. I still would have started him in this game, and then we go from there. But the McTominay. But back to McTominay though. It is mad interesting. He said he's only joined in yesterday, and I know he said there was no reaction, but he's been out since what was the game he got injured? Was it Newcastle?
No, it was the week before. Oh no, I think he did play against Newcastle, didn't he? Or was it the week before that?
So many games, I cannot remember. I can't
he's either missed 1 game or he's missed 3 games.
Oh, did he come off against Sociedad? Oh, he came off against Sociedad in the first half, in the first game, didn't he?
Yeah, I don't know.
I want to say I can't remember.
Luke
anyway,
go on, carry on.
But to only train yesterday and come straight back in, it'll be great to see if if he's at it and doing well, because that is a big risk.
Well, also we played Thursday night. They played Tuesday night, so they're going to be fresher anyway. It stands to reason.
There you go.
Luke Haynes says we play Rashford out of position. He's a left forward, not left winger or a striker. He should be like Salah, but from the left, says Luke Haynes. I really want Ollie to succeed, but why is Rashford a number 9? Another bad decision. Would love to slap Grain Souness. Bruno a good player. A lot of penalties. The guy's an idiot. Yeah, well we've always known that. I mean, look, if it's not Greenwood at 9 and it's Rashford at 9, is that not even worse? Because I don't think Rashford's a number 9 anyway.
I think, you know what? In a way, the only way Rashford works at 9, and I mean this respectfully, is when the game, I think, is literally just getting behind. You haven't really got to come and link play.
Well, that's what we're going to try and do, isn't it? It's going to be long ball counter-attacking football. It's not going to be easy to watch this, I don't think.
No, it's not. I thought it would be an uncomfortable watch. That's why I predicted a 1-1/0-0. But I do think if Rashford is up front, it'll be Marcus on your bike, like a Vardy type. Even Vardy kind of sometimes can bring people into play. But do you know what I mean? More so like that kind of striker. Get in behind. As soon as we get it, you go. So I don't know. I think it's going to be Mason, man. I mean, it is a toss-up. You just do not know. But probably be Dan James false 9 now. But I do think it will be Mason. I just with James playing, he's definitely on the wing. And I just think Marcus is so much better coming from the left. Surely it's going to be him on the left and Mason up front. I can't see it any other way, but we'll have to wait and see. But that could be worse. It could be worse, but then it would tell us a lot about the game plan if Marcus is up front.
I think that I've got to say this game I feel no different than I did before the team news. I think this game is in the balance. We can win it. That's probably unlikely.
We can.
I think the draw is still the most likely thing. I don't think it's going to be easy watching. I think we're not going to have a lot of the ball. I think we're going to defend a lot, and I think we're going to try and hit them on the break. And we have won games like that before. But I also see a lot of comments, and I agree with a lot of comments about how this could go. It could very easily be a game where the front 4 just don't get much of the ball, because we don't get, Fred and McTominay. When Fred and McTominay play with Magaluf, they play so deep. So getting the ball forward is going to be very difficult. One of the things that really we haven't discussed that worries me a lot as well is, and we saw it against West Brom, Maguire doesn't go and mark the striker. Lindelof does. And Lindelof against Giroud is another mismatch physically and in the air.
Massive.
And Eric Bay's good in the air and physical. So it's not just his pace as well.
No, the Giroud thing is really interesting, right? Because I tweeted it. I said, look, after the last time we played against him in the FA Cup semi-final, he got across the near post, didn't he, and scored.
Well, they bullied us then, didn't they?
His exactly 100%, and that was under Lampard. That's when. And remember, we're playing against the Five today. More about that, because when we played in that semi-final, that was after we'd beaten them 3 times in a row, playing 5 at the back against them, and it was almost like Lampard went, I ain't that stupid. I've got to change it up here. Yeah. And they played the 5 against that. And then we changed our shape because we hadn't been playing the 5, and we went back to it and played Brandon Williams and changed the team. And then we know the rest is history, and they done us over. And then when Lampard come to Old Trafford earlier in the season, he was in the back 5 again, and we couldn't break him down. So us playing against the back 5 is actually a massive issue. It's actually a massive issue, more than we're actually remembering here, because
it's harder to get in behind the back 5, Chelsea, isn't it?
Way harder. The gaps aren't there. And that's why, although I said it could be a good game for Dan James if we play in the right way, if we don't move that ball quick enough and penetrate hard enough, then it can be quite a stalemate where Chelsea will just get the wing back straight back in. They've got the 3 centre-halves, Aspilicueta, Christensen and I think Rudiger. They'll just sit in there. And I think Hudson-Odoi's right wing back and Chilwell's left wing back. They'll just be compact and not leave a lot of spaces in behind. And Tuchel, let's not forget, we beat them once in Paris, and then he come to Old Trafford and beat us. Then the time before that in Paris, and Old Trafford, he knows how we play. So actually thinking about this,
he's a better tactical coach than Solskjaer.
Yeah, of course.
And
of course he is.
I'm not gonna lie about that. The reason I know this is because he's been in that club very, very short period of time, and they're already playing the way he wants to play. We are 2 years into this journey with Ollie, and he's still talking about his coaches, having to need time. I likened this to we basically bought Amad Diallo in Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and Chelsea brought in Verratti. They brought in an experienced, in their prime manager. We brought in a young, inexperienced manager. I'm not talking about their age. I'm talking about their managerial career. Yeah. Tuchel has got an experienced coaching staff, and he can go into a club and get things working quickly. Ollie is potential.
He's learning it now.
He's getting better, but he's not there yet. And I think it's going to be. I think Donny was bought purely as an investment due to his price, and will be used in the summer as a swap for Varane, says Neil's Reef Aquarium. And I'm glad you realised and spoke about the reality we live in. To win a league title, we need to be better than Man City, and our squad needs major work, says Yaz. What are you going for in this game, Flex? Are you going for
going with a draw, man?
Yeah.
1-1. I think 1-1. I think, I think we could even score first, and then can't go on from that, and then they score, or obviously vice versa. But I just got a feeling of a draw. I mean, but we can lose this game.
I'll tell you what, I think I get fed up myself with saying it, so I'm sure a lot of people are going to get fed up with what I'm about to say, but every game for United for the last probably 3 months feels like our biggest game, but I suppose that's the way it should be. James,
every game's a big game.
And I mean, James says Bruno's key today as always, but if he doesn't get the ball, he'll have a bad game. I predicted this morning, I said I've got a feeling Bruno will score a 5 out of 10 today, not because he has a shit game, because he won't get the ball. If you don't get the ball in a good position, you can't do your job, and this is what tends to happen.
With that though, he does need to maybe play a bit more patiently today. I've been really impressed with him of late. Like kind of earlier when in the Bruno era, it's like he goes for the Hollywood ball every time, the killer ball every time. I think it was against Liverpool actually, that game, when like we didn't see much of the ball, but every time he got it, he just wanted to kind of, go for the killer ball in terms of just like, keep it, give us a breather, let's try and get on the ball a bit, and he's done that recently. So I think that's going to be really important from him today, to kind of be reluctant or not give in to the desire to want to find that killer pass every single time, because I think that could be an issue, because if we keep giving it away cheaply and it just keeps coming back, you cave in. We've got to have periods of possession in this game.
Apparently, I'll come back to that in a minute, because I'm going to go for a toilet break, and you can react to that one because it's a good one. But just before I do that, I mean, hi Mark. I think in my opinion, Martial plays his best game at number 9. What do you think, says Varashin? This game today, I think the way we've approached it is to try and not get beat. You said it there, a draw's not a terrible result because it keeps you 6 points ahead of...
Do you feel that? Do you feel a draw's not too bad? Because we've got City next as well.
I wouldn't be unhappy with a draw as long as we beat Palace on Wednesday. But
oh, no, it's not City next. Yeah,
Palace, but my issue is it's a 6-pointer because if you win it, you almost grab hold of top 4 because you put yourself 9 points ahead of Chelsea. You'd stay 9 points ahead of Liverpool and 3 points ahead of Leicester. If you lose it, you're on the same points as Leicester. You're 6 points ahead of Liverpool if they win tonight, and you are only 3 points ahead of Chelsea. So the swing, if you somehow, I don't care how we win. I'm not happy with. I'm not happy with that team.
Massive, any win.
Yeah, I ain't happy with that team, but I don't care if we win 1-0 and we don't deserve it because,
of course,
that's what you want. But if we lose it, we're dragged into something not quite terribly, but not great. Right, I'm just going to quickly take a quick toilet break, but I'll leave you with a good point here. Martial has been dropped, and Graham Souness has been speaking, and he's basically said that he's a player with all the talent in the world who will be disappointed. He'll be disappointed that he's been dropped, but he doesn't ever show that he really cares about playing football anyway. Is that right or wrong? I'll be back in a minute.
Oh, it's just typical Graham Souness, isn't it? That is. I think it's when you want to start questioning his mentality and his desire as a professional. I just think you don't know him. You don't know him. He done the same thing with Moise Kean. When Moise Kean came to Everton and was struggling a little bit, it didn't quite work out for him. Young kid moving across. I think he came with his mum and that as well. Didn't work out for him. Got his move to PSG and now he's firing again. So I think it's really easy to do that. And I know Martial's in a different category because, to a certain extent, because he's been here so long. I don't mind you questioning how ruthless he is. I don't mind you questioning, how clinical he is or the amounts of goals he does or doesn't get. But to say he doesn't care whether he plays or not, if that's what he said, unless I'm kind of getting it wrong, I just think that's wrong. I just think that's wrong. I don't get that. Listen, my question marks over Martial are there. And when I say question marks, I mean, okay, apart from his first season where he was prolific under Van Gaal and the last season just gone, that's the best we've seen from Martial. What happened in them other years in the middle? Like he was still playing, and it's the same for a lot of players being mismanaged when Jose came in and this, that, and Jose wanted to sell him or whatever. Ollie giving him his number back and stuff like this. But for me, it boils down to one thing, that I just don't think that Tony will ever be the clinical striker that we need him to be on a consistent basis. That's it for me. I think it's that simple. Do I love Martial? Do I like Martial? Of course I do. Do I think on his day he's unplayable? Yes, which we don't often see that from Martial. Is he a clever player? Has he got a good touch, a good football brain? Yes, he has all them things. But can he undeniably hit the back of the net on a consistent basis? And as much as you might love him, and I'm the same, you have to ask yourself this and be true to yourself and say, no, he's not. He's not. When you look at other top strikers, he's not that guy. And that worries me. That does worry me. Or worries me to the point where we need to fix it, which, Cavani has been here since the summer, 33 years of age, whatever he is. And slowly but surely, we didn't get the response that we wanted from Martial. And then we ended up saying that Cavani should be starting, for many reasons. So I can see why that's happened. So for me, Martial's biggest season kind of was this season to prove that last season wasn't a flop, wasn't luck. And he hasn't stepped up to the plate. We can only go off evidence. I don't mind going off evidence. And the evidence shows that Martial had one good season, prolific-wise, under Van Gaal in his first season. Kind of went barren, being on the left, being up front, whatever you want to call it. Didn't really hear from him. Ollie put the backing into him, gave him his number back. He responded last year when he was the only guy in contention. As soon as his place got threatened by a proper striker coming in, he went back to being not so good again. So next season, there's no excuses. He might be on his way.
Just a big shout out. If you're going to play United Stand Picks, you've got literally a minute or two just to get your scores in. If you've downloaded it, links in the video description. £1,000 cash prize pot, 12 questions, all to do with the game. Live leaderboard whilst the game's on. You can win the money. I've got to be over 18 to play, but it's free to enter. So if you've not done them, get on with it. Links in the video description for that. And please subscribe. Bottom right hand corner, I was just checking then when Flex was talking, we're 20 subscribers away from 995,000. We wanted to get it before kick-off. Bottom right hand corner to subscribe. We're on that road to 1 million, so make sure you subscribe. Bottom right hand corner to do that. I was just saying that, very excited about this game. I don't care about non-United fans or non-Chelsea fans in this game. I don't think we're going to dish you up a classic. I don't think that's going to happen. I think what you're going to get dished up here is I actually think if I was a betting person, I know we said 1-1 I think we both said 1-1 actually in the United stand thing that we do. I think 0-0. I think the sad thing about this, and we don't know how we're going to play, we're going to find out in 5 minutes, but the sad thing about this is that I think it depends how much Chelsea want it. I think United are very much going, we'll take a point. We'll nick all three if you leave us open, if you leave it open at the back, but you are going to have to be the team. I mean, in a game of football, I think Chelsea are the team that are going to have to try and play football to win the game. I don't know whether you read the super chats, but Kay says, I agree with Flex. What if Bruno looking for the killer ball is a tactical instruction given we don't have the ball? I know KG is hiding inside the free seat, says Habib. Mark, Roy Keane agreed with Souness, and Keane added that he doesn't think that Martial loves the game. Says he has football.
Keane doesn't like Martial either. He never has done.
Trust me, David will be very busy for this game, says Mini19. And welcome to the Members Club, PWK. Well, I didn't hear what you said, Flex, but all I would say is that Martial has always been one of my favourite players. He's not playing very well at the moment, I've said that. But I am not going to sit here and say that Souness and Keane are right. I don't give a shit what legend they are of what club. To sit there and say that one of my favourite players over the last 4 years doesn't love the game. Do you think I'd sit and admire a footballer who doesn't love the game? I think it's absolute bullshit agenda from the British media again. He's not playing well. Don't start talking about his personal life or his personality. I think he's a very quiet lad. He's a quiet lad.
What I said about the Souness situation is he did it with Moise Keane. You started questioning their desire as professionals and their credentials as a professional. And I think when you start diving into, you don't really care about being a pro. You don't really care about. I just think you don't know him
personally. Doesn't have fucking Christmas with him, does he? No, but it's bullshit. It's bullshit, and it pisses me off because I don't think that's it. I think it should stop at he's not been playing well. Don't start delving into he clearly doesn't enjoy 100%. Football.
Or I don't think he's clinical because he doesn't make this run, or his hunger to make that run. I don't see the intensity there.
It's another foreign player. It was De Gea last week. Now it's Martial. It's the same every bloody week. I tell you what, it's never the English players. There's more than enough evidence to be talking about Harry Maguire. Nah, never going to happen. Never going to happen.
They never do.
They're only not talking about Pogba because he's bloody injured. I think he's injured on purpose. What are they? Bullshit. Speaking out their arse. Anyway, we're very close to kick-off. Yeah.
Let's go, man. Let's go. It's a bit. Stay in the game. Don't do anything silly. I know it might be boring and not an easy watch, but
end it now. Take a point. 0-0. Rock, paper, scissors. We'll play one round.
100%, because that you can't afford. I don't think our team is. I know how good we've been on the road. We haven't really spoke about our away form. Really, we're still unbeaten.
Oh yeah, we're unbeaten away from home, aren't we?
Yeah, I mean, but when you go to West Brom and you get a draw, it's nothing to shout about. Do you know what I mean? But the facts are the facts. We are still unbeaten. But I don't think the way that we're set up in these games, we're built to come back. Do you know what I mean? And win. So I think if we get the first goal, we could go on to win. But I don't know if we don't. They've put it as Rashford up front, but
yeah, that's what I've got.
We'll see.
All right, well, we'll get you on at half time, mates. Squeaky bum time. Let's see what happens with it.
Cool, Rashford. If you're up there, mate, better run your ass off and show us. Come on.
There'll be a lot. Don't worry, we'll be running around a lot. I don't know whether we'll have the ball, but we will be running around a lot. Well, no, let's see. We might have a surprise. Let's see.
Imagine we just keep the ball and play him off the park.
That's progression. That's what we want. I mean, I think that's what everybody wants. We're only predicting that won't happen because we haven't done it in the past.
Exactly.
But at some point,
we want to be proved wrong.
Yeah, we want to be proved wrong. Yeah.
Exactly. All right, nice one. See you half time.
All right, mate. I'll speak to you half time.
All right, bye.
We'll get Flex back on at half time. We are about ready to go. I tell you what, it's gone quick towards kickoff today as well. I'm excited about it. I'm looking forward to it. Let me get the timer ready as well and come back into the studio. Take a deep breath. Look, I hope I'm wrong. I hope we are going to dominate the ball. I hope we are going to pass them off the park. Why are they even watching? I like Martial. He was our best player of the season last season, says Verishan. I've noticed Martial recently has changed his game so much. His strength and holding up the game has improved, says Daniel Harding. And he's trying to do so much he's stopped running at players, which is what he does best. Well, he's been dropped today and Cavani's not even on the bench. So, this is probably the lowest point Martial's ever had. But we can talk about that after the game and during next week. We're now about to kick off this game. And we're off. Mark, how much do you like Ollie is nervous about dropping one of the centre-backs for Eric, or do you feel he has trust in them both? He loves them centre-backs, Liam. How do you think Dan James will perform up against Azpilicueta? Well, I think I'm going to change the team here because Greenwood's actually playing down the middle. So I'm going to change it straight away. It's not as some people were saying. It's actually how we had it before. Mason Greenwood is playing there. It's a pain, actually. But Rashford's playing there. And Dan James is playing there. So that's how we're lining up. We are playing with the front three with Greenwood at number 9. So Martial's effectively been dropped for Greenwood as a number 9. The timer has started. I just need to put it on the screen. There you go. Thanks, everyone. Please subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. We're very close to 990. Oh, why can't I do this? 995,000 subscribers. Bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. On that road to 1 million. Don't need that in my ear anymore. But United trying to pass their way through the press is what Solskjaer spoke about. Ian Colt's watching at a bar in California. Excuse me. Hello. Seb. That glass is leaking. Can I have another one when you're ready? Thanks. It's a big pile of water there. Chelsea on the attack. Cross comes in. Luke Shaw up against Giroud. And it goes for a corner. Big chance there. United on the rack a little bit. Sorry, I had a glass of leaking water. It's all over my mouse mat. Could be an electricity hazard there. But cross coming in. I haven't really had a chance to settle myself here, but well headed away by Luke Shaw there. And it goes for a corner for Chelsea. Nobody scored more goals from corners than Chelsea this season. And United are shit at corners. So, can you wish my mate Chris happy birthday? Kieran, I'm not stupid. Gabriel Noel, did you see the masterclass today? Only 12 points behind you. Says Zane. Okay. They've gone with a short corner, Chelsea here. It's a crap short corner. That'll go for a goal kick. They've wasted an opportunity there. You can't score from a corner if you don't put a cross in the box. Thanks. I think that one needs to go in the bin. Thanks. Thanks everyone for watching. Smash a like on video. Big game this. I don't think it's going to be a classic. You can already see how deep our defensive line is. Look at that. We're playing in our own penalty box out from the back. Dan James, absolute shit pass there. You see, I don't actually like what Ollie said before the game, that we're going to have to pass our way through the press. Passing your way through the press is only good if you've got players who can pass through a press. And I don't think Dan James, Fred, McTominay are actually intricate passes through a press. So we might be setting ourselves up there. But that's going to be the plan, isn't it? I'll be moving around a lot on this game. I'm glad I've got a movie chair now because it's going to be in one of those sort of nervous games, I think. Look, we're only 4 minutes into the game. I did predict last Sunday during the Newcastle game on the watch along. I said we will park the bus against Chelsea. They will have loads of possession and we will hit them on the break. That's what we'll try and do. And at the moment, it's looking very much like that will be what happens today. Why not play Bay if we're going to play this way, says Joe. It's always bloody Burnley, says Shade Skies. You can see what Tuchel's building already. Well, I couldn't give a shit what Tuchel's building, to be honest. I want to see what Manchester United are building. But look, hopefully they will shock us and we will play a really, expansive brand of football and will hurt them. But they've got a lot of good players. Ziyech, they've got Mount, Hudson-Odoi. They've got creative players. Are they playing a back five? Are they playing a back four? I think Chelsea look like they're playing a back four to me. Hard to tell. Aspilicueta's playing very, very far to the right. Is Hudson-Odoi tucking in as a right wing back, or are they playing a back five? Hard to tell. Would like to see Rashford on the left, Bruno false 9, Greenwood on the right, Donny and McTominay box to box with Fred as holding midfielders, says Diego Suarez. That'd take a hell of a lot of cushion. Has the through pass when the two best passers you have in midfield are sitting on the bench? How Fred starts baffles me. What does he do well? Run, says Sean Negative Turner. What are your thoughts on Martial being dropped, says Austin Brenner. I don't agree with it, but it was funny. I was doing a watch along on That's Football at lunchtime for the Arsenal-Leicester game. Rudiger's on a madness here. He's gone through the whole team. Still Rudiger. McTominay blocks the cross. Piled his way through there. Thought he was playing rugby then. But foul on Dan James. So, yeah, I was talking about this on That's Football today. Unpopular opinion. So it's an opinion you agree with, but you know the vast majority don't. This is an unpopular opinion, but I would have played Martial today. I think he's very experienced in that number 9 role. I thought he played well on Thursday. I would have started him today. But, you know, I hope Greenwood does well, because maybe it's a glimpse into our future. I mean, all you want is your manager to be proved right. I don't think he'll ever be proved right on Maguire and Lindelof. I think they are a shite pairing. And obviously they are United players and I want them to do well. But this is based on 8 months. It's not based on 8 games. Man United lists, I don't think we are set up to play defensively. I just don't think we have enough technical players to pass through a press like Newcastle, says Man United lists. And what are your... I've done that on Martial. Okay. Well, Chelsea on the attack again here. I'm not bothered about that. I think that's very much what the game's going to be about. Mount up against Lindelof. Good block by Lindelof. But we're defending in our own penalty box. Look how deep Maguire and Lindelof are, which is very dangerous when you've got someone like Giroud. Dan looks like he sleeps face down every night, says Kyle, the man. And we can't play out from the back, says Stephen Donahue. That's going to be the challenge today. Can we play out from the back? Free kick to United. Oh, look at that, Fred playing a... That's hilarious. Fred wants the ball, give me the ball, puts it down really quickly to pass it back 10 yards to Lindelof. It's hardly cutting edge, is it? Good play by Greenwood, though. Good ball. So Rashford. Very important that Rashford and Greenwood have a good game tonight. Today. I don't know why I'm saying tonight, because it's late afternoon. Good pressing from United, but Chelsea can play through the press, no problems. Ziyech into Giroud. McTominay picks it up. Fast pace to the start of this. Please subscribe, by the way, bottom right hand corner. We were very close to 995k before kickoff. I think we were about 10 away. So bottom right hand corner to subscribe on that road to 1 million. Somebody just said there that Dan James is getting bullied. I don't think he's getting bullied. I think Chelsea have started off very, very physical. There's been a lot of fouls all over the pitch from Chelsea early on. They're not. They're up for it because they need to win. Chelsea need to win. They've got a massive week. They've got Liverpool on Thursday, which is a huge game, and this is a big game as well. Really, they need to take 4 points from both of them, but they need to beat us because we're higher up. Hi Mark, love the content, says Dylan Morgan. What do you think of Shaw man marking Giroud on corners? Because that is what's happening on the first one. Well, we've got another corner here, Dylan, so we can all actually see what's happening there. Panam says, between Giroud and Rashford, who would you rather have a pillow fight with? Depends what sort of pillow fight it is. But, yeah, they've got a corner here. So let's have a look who's marking Giroud. Because it should be Harry Maguire. It should be Harry Maguire on corners. Let's have a look. I don't want a close-up on Giroud. I want a close-up on the penalty box so I can see what the marking strategy is for United. Well, it's zonal. And it is Luke Shaw on Giroud. McTominay heads it away. Right, Dan James. Here we go. Kante up against Rashford. He's got it. Good play by Chilwell there. See, that's United on the break. That is exactly... And it can work. It might not be the prettiest brand of football, but it can work. You can hit them on the break with that pace. That was a very... for United, we might only get 3 times to do that this game. Bruno with the ball. It's a lovely ball forward. Rashford up against Kante. If Rashford could have got that and played Greenwood in like he tried to, we could have been 1-0. It can work on the break, but you need a lot of things to go your way. You've got to defend well, and you've got to take those opportunities. And we nearly did it there. Hey, Mark, hope the channel gets to 1 million. I think this match will be a tactical draw, says Mohammed Idris. Yeah, I think Ollie would be over the moon with a draw. We did play Thursday night as well, so there will be tiredness. Good play by Greenwood there. He's looking up for it, but Rashford offside. Kay says they're clearly targeting DJ with the tactical fouls. Yeah, I mean, my first thoughts on the first 10 minutes are that a lot of fouls being given up by Chelsea. They don't want United to get any rhythm on the break. And, Ollie's doing what we've done since the day he came into the club against the top six. We are playing deep defensive football and trying to hit them on the break. What's your preferred CDM pairing with regard to shielding our backline and linking it with our forwards, says Leo? Very, very, very difficult, Leo. I mean, it's a cracking question, but it's very difficult. What's our best CDM partnership? When Pogba's fit, it's very easy. It's Pogba and somebody. When Pogba's not fit, we have neither McTominay, Matic or Fred have got the creativity to play that role. I mean, look at the way Chelsea play. They have Kante and Kovacic. Kovacic gives you that creativity that you want as a CDM, and he also gives you that tenacity. I love Kovacic. I think he's a massively underrated player. And United don't have a player like that. And we don't have a CDM. So we don't actually have either of the positions. We don't have the more box-to-box tenacious player, and we don't have the more disciplined passer. Bruno goes for a shot. McTominay, he might get a foul for that. 50-50 surely. Mount and McTominay. And I think he's going to give a free kick to United. Let's have a watch back of this. McTominay in a 50-50 with Mount. Yeah, McTominay wins the ball. It's our free kick. Yeah, it's our free kick. That's a good chance for... LP says get Rashford on this. He has scored from here before. He stood there, but I don't think Bruno will be giving this one up. Larry says, why is Dan James starting? Well, team is what it is. I think Rashford wants to hit this because Bruno, I've scored a worldie from here before at this ground. Did you not see it? No, I was in Portugal. I had more important things to do. I'm taking it. Well, I scored. I think it was at this end. I scored here. Exactly like it. You've got to let Rashford hit it, haven't you? Yeah, he's going to hit it. Imagine if he does it again. Imagine if he does it again. I'll tell you what, he won't do it again. He's not going to do it again. No, straight at the keeper. Good hit, but it's straight at the keeper. What is it? I'll tell you what, it's a tasty game. Tasty game here to start off with. Fast-paced. Not as dull and boring as you would have thought. A few fouls going in. And a good fast pace to the game. United looking to hit them on the break. Chelsea looking to find their way through. But look at the positional sense of United here. Everyone behind the ball. They can play through the pass. They can, I'll tell you who can play through a press though. Chelsea. Saw that against Atletico Madrid. Good shot. Straight. I'll tell you what. Ziyech hits it straight at De Gea. I do worry about De Gea. I think he's had so much pressure put on him. All these bloody journalists who want Henderson in goal, right? They've put so much pressure on the goalkeeper for the club that they're supposed to bloody cover. I did panic a little bit there when that was at De Gea, but he handled it well. Oh, we're checking a VAR. That's a penalty, that is. That's a bloody penalty, that. 100%. 100%. Hudson-Odoi. I thought Greenwood handled it, but he did handle it afterwards. That's a penalty. It's a penalty. Get it out. Do it, ref. Don't mess about. Get on with it. That is a definite penalty. It touches his hand. You can't not give it. Don't take 10 looks at that. Look at it. It's on his hand. It's outstretched. You can't not give the penalty for that. Chelsea penalty. It's in the bloody penalty box for us. You better bloody give it. What's he on about? No handball. He needs to go to the bloody Specsavers. What are you on about? No handball. It hits his bloody hand. What a prat. What a prat. Get out. You're an absolute disgrace to your profession. You don't deserve a job. Get out, get your bags, get your coat, go home and don't talk to anyone on your way out. You absolute useless waste of space. You're sacked. You're fired. Your P45's on email. Get out and never come back. Bloody joker. How is he not given that? The bloody hand, it lands on his bloody hand. It's out like that. That's a handball. What's gone wrong with this game? What has gone wrong with this game? How can it not be a handball? His hand is outstretched. He's having a bloody joke. He's having a bloody joke. Oh my God. I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. I'm telling you now, as a Manchester United fan, if that's Mason Greenwood doing that in our box, I'm saying that's a penalty Chelsea. What's the rules then? What's the rules? It's the clearest penalty I've ever seen. His hand's not in an awkward position and it hits him on the hand. He's giving it a bloody fist pump. What more? How much more of a handball do you want? He's greeting the ball as it comes to him. High five, fist pump. Bloody hell. And I know that everybody who's saying that, how's that a penalty? How's it not a how is it? Because he handballs it. What are you talking about? He's not been blasted at his hand from 2 yards away. The ball has moved about 20 metres and he's took it on his hand. Ball hits hand equals handball. It hits Greenwood afterwards anyway. Oh my God. I'm stunned. I'm stunned. Look, I'm not going to lie. There's an element of fortune to it. There is an element of fortune to it, but you want the game to give you what you deserve. The key is to not let this get United down. Let's go again and make sure it isn't front page news, says Callum Robinson. Honestly, it's not a pen. Greenwood lifted Hudson's hand himself to hit the ball, says Big. I'm not going to read your name. The key, and I would rather have an out-formed Tony Martial on the left wing than an informed Dan James. James is a chicken running around, says Christopher Brazil. A boxer would have been proud of that punch. Fuming, says Marcus Wynn. Look, we've got to move on. We've got to move on. We're not going to get it, are we? But the funny thing is, he's looked at the bloody TV 4 times. I don't know what he's watching. We're watching a VAR replay. I think he's catching up on Game of Thrones or something. Brad's using abuse, so Brad can fuck off. There you go. There's a bit of abuse for Brad. But ever since Klopp said about us getting the decisions, we've had all of them go against us, says Tarrant. Well, I don't know about that. But I'm not going to read anybody that says it's not a penalty because you're just trolling. Like, it's obvious. Unless you've got something that evidently shows that shouldn't be a penalty, other than the fact that you're just a jealous little troll, then I'm not going to read it out. Because to be honest with you, I would have said 100%. If Dan James does that in our box, I'm like, you're a prat. That's a penalty. So We've got to move on, though. We've got to move on. 20 minutes gone. It definitely hit Nathan. It hit Greenwood's arm afterwards. I'm not sure it hit Greenwood's arm before. I mean, look, you just got to move on. Got to move on. You run that's football. This reminds me of what's football. VAR has become subjective, not objective, says Sharath Kamath Fitness. Trying to put United bias aside, his hand isn't just in an unnatural position. It moves towards the ball too. One of the most obvious penalties this season, says Brad Bowden. I'm just going to move on. Move on. The game's 20 minutes gone. It's over. We'll talk about it at half time. Here's Chelsea on the attack. Hudson-Odoi shoots just wide. You know why I know it was a handball? Because Hudson-Odoi was shitting himself and ran over to the VAR monitor to try and get his word in. And Azpilicueta had to take him away. He fucking knows he handballed it. That's why he was shitting himself about it being a handball. Anyway, I'm not moving on. If Ollie gets a new contract, do you think he will play brave football next season in big games? Or what would it take, new signings? I don't know, mate. We've not really seen him play brave football against any of the top six yet in 2.5 years. So I don't know what handball is anymore, says Guitar. Well, I don't. I think that's the big problem, isn't it? I think the rules get changed so often that we never know. We never know. I don't actually know. I mean, somebody might have an explanation why it's not a handball, because the rule has now had another sentence added, which is it's not a handball if the referee's shit or something like that. I don't know. But it's a penalty considering what else gets given in the rules. Problem is consistency. Would be soft maybe, but it's given in any other game, so why not now, says Jake Marshall. And unbelievable not getting a penalty for Greenwood lifting a player's arm up. Bruno rightfully fuming. Disgusting ref, says Alex Cotton. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Twitter's not the place to get an answer. Basically just a bunch of virgins with crappy profile pictures saying, if that's a penalty, then United's a small club. Penandes, Penchester. I don't think they watch the game. I think they actually just live on Twitter waiting to try and spout shite. But United are actually doing quite well at the moment, I think. I don't think Chelsea have been able to get the foothold in this game that they thought they would. And I think United at the moment are winning a lot of the ball. Turn and shoot, Rashford. Turn and shoot. Oh, why didn't you shoot? Goes for a goal kick. I don't even think the ref knows the rule anymore, says Jurgen's Reds. And I'm thinking there's something in my coffee here. How the fuck is this ref seeing that not and giving a penalty? Klopp master strikes again, says Gabriel Noel. Oh, well, I'm intrigued to watch it at half time, to be honest, because there are people saying that Greenwood moved his hand towards the ball, which I've not looked at. I just look at the ball hitting his hand. Loved James recently, but he's just sprinting around, pressing the wrong areas. I think maybe a sub for him and Bailly coming on would help us massively, says United 190. Well, yeah, this is why I want to get my focus back on the game, because we're all talking about a penalty that we can revisit at half time because we're not going to get it anyway now. And there's a game of football going on here. Harry says, at this point, it feels as though the refs just flip a coin in their heads to help them make these decisions. Very frustrating. I actually thought, just the final port before we watch it again at half time, I actually thought he was going to look at it and go straight away. The fact that he had to keep watching it was almost like he was trying to find a way not to give it. because on first look, you're like handball, penalty. And when he doesn't give it straight away, I did start to panic a little bit because I'm like, what is he looking for? But we'll see at half time. Have a stretch, says Nonzo. Yeah, we'll have a stretch, thanks. That's a goal kick. So actually, you know what? At the moment, the game is going very much the way I thought it would do. It's got 0-0 written all over it. It's a tight game. Chelsea struggling to create chances, and United obviously playing quite counter-attacking, which will lead towards the assumption that this game will be a tight with very few goals in it. So 0-0 maybe is where we're heading. We need a Rice in CDM. He will help control our tempo, says Ruben. Well, I think at the moment this is playing into United's hands. I've not been massively impressed with Chelsea so far. I think you look at their starting lineup and you think, right, they're gonna keep us penned back. And actually, we've probably been in their half as much as they've been in our half so far. I don't know whether it's a tactic by Tuchel to say let them in. I mean, to be fair, Tuchel might have said we don't want to get caught on the break and let them come on to us and then we'll hit them on the break. David Nardiello says that the issue is the distinction between deliberate handball and accidental has been erased over the years. It's a matter of interpretation that VAR won't solve. I think that's a very good point. Crap ref shouldn't ascribe to malice what is better attributed to incompetence, says Manny. And DJ getting bullied spent most of this half on his arse. They are passing into his feet and not in behind, says Daniel Harding. Well, I don't think Chelsea are ever going to... I've just had a message from a Liverpool fan, from Craig at Anfield Agenda, saying you were robbed. So it's not just... not just Man United fans. Please subscribe, by the way, bottom right hand corner to do that. We are on that road to 1 million subscribers. Good winning of McTominay in the ball there. What are you doing? Half an hour gone in this game already. Should be 1-0. DJ, we've done DJ. And hello from Ireland. Greenwood, Maguire, Shaw, Basaka not at the races. Come on, United, says John O'Neill. You know what? I feel that the penalty has sort of disrupted my knowledge of what's going on in the game, really. It shook me a little bit, to be honest. Nice flick on there by Bruno, but Dan James can't get there. I do think Bruno as a false nine is not a terrible idea. I just don't think we've got the coaching staff to do it. I think it's very hard to play with a false nine, which is why Pep's very good at it, because he's a very analytical coach and he spends a lot of time telling his players what to do. I do think Bruno as a false nine wouldn't be a terrible idea, because you could get Van der Beek in the same team then and still have McTominay and Fred if you wanted to. But that was a shit. Chelsea not playing... I don't think Chelsea playing well in this game, you know. I don't. There's a bad ball there. It's gone straight out for a throw-in. I would love to see what the stats are. I'm pretty sure United have spent a lot of the game in their half. Chelsea are playing crap, says Mr. Era. I agree. Ollie has to deliver either the FA Cup or the Europa League trophy plus top 4 this season to get a new contract when better tactical managers are available, says RS. See, Lindelof's gone back to his goalkeeper there, for fuck's sake. From the halfway line to go back to your keeper. Right, I really want to this next 15 minutes, I really want to keep an eye on what's going on in the game. That penalty thing is just in my head. What we're doing at the moment is a lot of sideways and backwards passing. Nice ball there, though. Luke Shaw should keep it in. On the touchline. Needs some support. He's going to have to come back. Where's he going to go? Here's Maguire playing as left winger again. When is handball in the penalty box ever intentional? No one decides, hey, you know what, I'm going to use my hand in the penalty box. Utter bull crap, says Viaz, United Football Channel. Welcome to the Members Club, Michael Goldwyn. Thank you very much for joining. Get your badge next to your name. Thank you very much for supporting the channel. We are pressing up high at the moment. Yeah, we are. Ollie doesn't look particularly happy. Welcome to the Members Club, Ruben Ferisco. Oh, God, De Gea with a shite kick. Giroud over. It's a poor kick by De Gea, that. But I don't think Chelsea are playing well. Don't know what people... I do not think that Chelsea are playing well. I told her I only blow the bloody doors off. Rubbish, Michael Caine. But yeah, I don't think Chelsea are playing particularly well. Oh look, De Gea's done a bad kick. Let's take him off. Even though Dan James has hardly held the ball up for half an hour. Fred's misplaced the ball back 10 times, and Maguire and Lindelof are shite. But yeah, let's go after the goalkeeper for one bad kick. Yeah, the good old United fans and their agendas. Love it. Are you happy with this style of play, says Tom Boone? I don't know. I'm quite happy with the way we're playing, because I don't think Chelsea are playing particularly well, but we're not creating chances, are we? It's not scintillating football from Manchester United. It's possession football, but it's very... I think we're playing better without creating anything, if that makes sense. So I'm happy with the way we're playing in the context of the game, but I don't think Pep Guardiola or Jurgen Klopp would be losing any sleep over this. To be honest with you, an observation on Chelsea is I think he's made too many changes. I don't think there's any coherence between their team. This Chelsea team can be beat. We got to win. Come on, United, to Xander. I certainly think from the first half an hour, United should be looking to get in front. Because I don't think Chelsea look at the races at all. I saw them against Atletico Madrid on Tuesday night, and they look really good. They don't look at the races here. Well done, Maguire. Good tackle. And then he goes backwards. Go forwards. Fuck hell, the goal's that way. And win a tackle and then get all up your own arse and pass backwards. Well played, Wan-Bissaka. Timo. The Dreamo warming up. This Chelsea team can be beat. Yeah, come on, Xander. Right, Man United have got a corner here, or is it a free kick? It's a corner for Manchester United. Get your head on it, says Eden. God, kicked away for a throw. I'm not happy. I'm not happy with that. I feel like that penalty thing has overshadowed the last 20 minutes of this game. But I think Tuchel will make changes at half time. I don't think he'll be very happy with the way they're playing. We've been the better side without creating anything. Here's Hudson-Odoi. Okay, see, Chelsea are having to go backwards a lot as well. But the tight game we predicted is coming to pass, isn't it? But I think United have pressed. One thing I think is worth noting down, I think United have pressed well as a front four. And that energy and tenacity that you do get from Fred and McTominay does help in a game like this. I think the referee just would want to not have a penalty for Chelsea and can't believe what I heard, says Rizwan. And call me delusional, but after this game, the league is gone. We had a chance, but we are cowardly, says Sharath Kamath Fitness. Here's Hudson-Odoi. Cross comes in. Ooh, I tell you what, that should have been 1-0 Chelsea. Dan James is like Bambi on ice, says Miko Walsh. I think Giroud's hurt his back. He might be going off. But Rudiger bullying Dan James, switches it out to the right-hand side. Luke Shaw's been sucked in by Ziyech. Hudson-Odoi, the right wing-back. Giroud should score. That should be 1-0. Both Lindelof and Maguire run between them like a hot dog in a sausage. He slips away. It could have been 1-0. Delightful cross by Hudson-Odoi. And Giroud is probably an inch off getting his head on a diving header. Welcome to the Members Club, Cathal. So, injury break here. Please subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. We were very close to 995,000. In fact, we might have already hit it. I'll check it. But bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. We're on that road to 1 million. Subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. No, that's got nothing to do with Luke Shaw on the cross. Somebody said Luke Shaw not marking Hudson-Odoi. Hudson-Odoi is a right wing-back who is stood on the far touchline. If Luke Shaw was stood there, he would be in all sorts of trouble. He's got to be pulled in. 0-0. Ball over the top by Maguire. He ain't going to keep that in. Goes for a throw in. Marcus Rashford goes over the advertising horde. I think he's all right. Raheem says, what happened with the penalty? I'm not going to say anything about the penalty until half time. We'll get Flex on as well. I'm going to stay quiet about the penalty until half time. I think it was a stonewall penalty as a handball. And that's what I think. But I'm not going to say anything about it at the moment because we've still got another 8 minutes till half time. In the context of the game, what are your thoughts on the game so far? Let's talk about the game. I personally feel that... Wait a minute. I think United have been the better side, but I just think that's because Chelsea have played really bad. I do not think that Chelsea have played well. I think they look very different to the Chelsea I've seen. And another injury foul here. Fred on Ziyech and Shaw on Ziyech. No organisation, says Cavani FC. Welcome to the Members Club, Neo and Demi. We've had a super chat from Mohamed Idris. There's another injury here on Ziyech, head injury. Have supported United since 1990. I'm 36 years old and I can say hand on heart that this is the most average United team I've ever seen playing apart from 5 players, including De Gea, says Mohamed Idris. Anytime there is a cross, expect Maguire to let it through. Useless, says Alarico. Well, that Giroud chance is just another example, isn't it, of how Maguire doesn't defend his front post. And Maguire on the front post has been found out time and time and time and time and time and time and time again. If that was a penalty, then Show should have been the one on Aspie when Maguire manhandled him in the box. Don't know what you're talking about. What's a handball got to do with a foul? That's not an example, mate. If you had another handball example, that would work. Honestly, it's like playing with 10 men with James on. He's useless, says Aram. And Mark, what did you make of Gareth Bale's performance today, says Itchy. I thought his second goal was fantastic. I was actually doing the team news on here when he scored it. Very, very good. Good play by Kovacic there. Now you can see that back six of United. Hudson-Odoi's got a lot of space. It's hard for Luke Shaw because they're playing with the front three and we've got a back four. And it makes it very hard for Luke Shaw because he's almost got to leave Ziyech with Maguire to go out to Hudson-Odoi. Good win. Go on, Fred. Fred. No. Fred on the edge of the box doing skills. Bruno, hit it. Deflection, corner. Have a little bit of a stretch. Nervy game. Baggy bottom jeans. Boots with the fur. Look at Fred doing worse stepovers than Phil Neville. God almighty, don't ever do that again, Fred. Trying to step over on the edge of the box. Hi Mark, can you call my friend Nathan a prat, says Leo Murphy. And I've got a few super chats to catch up on. I'm just going to watch this corner here from Luke Shaw. Cross comes in, it's high enough. No one's head's on it, except from a Chelsea one. Very impressed with Dan James. He looks a constant threat, says Lloyd. Knows when to get off the ball, always looking for the ball. Finally, he's hitting form. All right, Lloyd. We have got some tough games coming up and we need refs to do their job right. Otherwise, it could cost us top four, says Ian Carlton. Our midfield is non-existent. They're absolutely dominating us there. Need a Matic or a Van der Beek can keep the ball, says Ibrahim. This game doesn't suit DJ. Tuchel set up so we cannot counter. Get Martial on at half-time and put Greenwood on the right. And boring football, basically playing a back six with Fred and Scotty. Our players don't know what diagonal and forward passes are, says Christian Withers. Yeah, I mean, it's a mixed bag. I think some people are happy with the way we're playing. Some people think it's really boring. I don't think it suits Dan James at all. I think that's a good point. I don't think we're playing terrible. I don't think we're creating anything. I think Chelsea are playing badly, and I think a better creative side would have took advantage of that. But at the moment, it's 0-0, and it looks like it could stay 0-0 till Christmas. Because Chelsea are playing badly, but we're not creating anything. I think we've been the better team in this half without creating anything. And is that not an indication of the lack of creativity in the side? Greenwood's barely had a sniff. Our number 9 hasn't had a sniff. And yet we've spent more time in there. They've had more chances than us. I mean, I'm here saying Chelsea aren't playing well, but Chelsea should be winning. That Giroud should have scored that header. They've had a couple of shots. Like we've had nothing. I can't think. Have we tested their keeper? I know we had the free kick from Rashford, but I can't think we've done anything. But we've had way more of the ball. Good cross by Dan James. That's a goal. Oh, it was a good cross. I thought Bruno was going to get his head on it. Aspilicueta did. I don't understand why Ollie keeps playing Shagaluf at centre-back. Where is Bailly, says Vinbra. And someone just said, worst United team since Fergie apart from 5 players. Well, that's half the team for starters, and he's clearly never seen a United team before, says Nick M. Another corner here for United. We've had a few corners. Nice by Bruno, but Kante's alive to the mistake, alive to the chance that Rashford could have had. I think Bruno's played well. Bruno has played well. He's passed well. He's actually headed well as well. So another corner here. Bruno's going to take it. Can we get a head on it? Oh, Mendy came for it, but Chelsea player got in his way. Here's Fred. I tell you what, if Fred was able to pass the ball and shoot, he'd be a very good box-to-box player because he's got the tenacity. He's got the tackling. He's got the energy. He just can't pass or shoot. Realistically, Fred is a Newcastle midfielder, isn't he? Because he's not a top 4 midfielder. I think that's the problem with Fred. I think we all love Fred. He's underrated. He puts a shift in. But he should be playing for Newcastle, not Manchester United. He's got no... If the reason you have a top 4 and the reason you have big clubs is that you have the players with the tenacity, the tackling and the energy, but they can also play football. And Fred just can't play football. He's got no passing ability and he can't shoot. If he had those 2 things, he would be good enough. But I do like Fred. I like Fred a lot, but it's our high press and McFred disruptions that are making Chelsea look bad. We're stopping them from playing their normal game, says Ings. Yeah, but it's still 0-0, mate. You know, we're getting into positions where we could do more, but we haven't got the creativity to do it. Karma says it's infuriating that we're always playing tentatively by default against top teams. Get on the offence, take some bloody chances. Here we go. Bruno out to Shaw. Go on. Oh, Bruno could have hit that. Couldn't get it out his feet. 1 minute of stoppage time in the first half to be added on here. Rashford into Greenwood. Goes for a shot. Good block. Wan-Bissaka. Lindelof. Tuchel will make changes at half time. He will make changes at half time. No one can ever moan about Matic passing and being slow. He's so much better than McFred. At least he actually shows for the ball, says Sean Negative Turner. Thanks for the super chat, Sean. And I think Dan James isn't the problem. He's playing bad because the tactic doesn't suit him. I think a substitution on James is a good shout, says Walter. Tomlin and Rudiger having a little bit there. And Leo Murphy, welcome to the Members Club. Here's Rashford on the left. Tackled by Kante. Here's Maguire. He's offside. And he's going to blow for half time. So that's half time. You know what? I think in my summary, I would say that Manchester United played quite well in that half. Well, I think Manchester United played well in that half without creating anything. I think that's the problem. And I would like to see a little bit more from us in that sense. I think a little bit more creativity. We should be in front in that game. I don't think Chelsea have played well, but ultimately the problem is they get half time. Tuchel makes a change. They come out a better team in the second half, and maybe they win it. We should be going in at least 1-0 up in that half because we've been the better side, but we haven't done anything to create it. And actually, the best chance of the game fell to them. So I'm happy with the way that we've played, but the same thing stands that there's no creativity in that team from key positions. Dan James put one good cross in. Rashford's been a bit swamped. Bruno's done well. Greenwood's been quiet. McFred and have made a lot of tackles, but the creativity, one of those has got to be a creator, and neither of them are. But I think United have played well in that half. I certainly don't think we've sat back. I'd say we didn't sit back in that game, but you would hope that there would be some more creativity. We're going to talk about the penalty. I'm going to get Flex on, actually. We will talk about the penalty because we'll get to see it on a slow-mo, which will be good. But that's the story of the half for me. It should be a penalty. We're going to see. We're going to see, and we'll have to wait until the ads are over to have a proper look at it. But for me, it's a penalty. Flex, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear.
What's your thoughts on that half?
I like the intensity. I like the shape. I like the fact that actually where we thought we would be sitting off and just allowing Chelsea to dominate the game.
Yeah, definitely.
We didn't do that. I think right from minute one.
They've been bad, haven't they?
Yeah, they have. And them adjusting to their shape and keeping the ball at Tuchel or Tuchel, however you say it, they will probably, he would demand that they keep the ball better. But I think the same could be done to us as well. We've done really well in stopping their wing backs actually being really effective. Chilwell has not gone bombing on because he can't, because Wan-Bissaka is getting right up in his face, almost on the halfway line on him. Yeah. And the same on the other side. But Hudson, a couple of times where they have switched the play really quickly, we've been caught because Luke Shaw's got to come in. And then, those dangerous crosses that Hudson Odoi's put in a couple of times. But other than that, nothing. Giroud, I think apart from that warning, that was the clear warning there with the Lindelof situation where he let Giroud get across. And that is the biggest worry. But other than that, we've been really comfortable in terms of dealing with Chelsea's threat or lack of. But what we haven't managed to do is turn that into meaningful possession for ourselves. And we haven't looked after the ball anywhere near enough. So I like the fact that actually, even though we've got the slow centre backs, Ollie's gone, because it's a bit of a risk, but against Giroud, he's kind of thought, okay, we can afford to play higher up the pitch, you two. Go for it, because I'm going to tell the fullbacks to get right up in the faces of the wing backs, which actually has stopped Chelsea playing a lot. Fred and McTominay, I think, have done their thing. Winning the ball back, winning possession.
There's just no creativity though. That's what I don't.
No creativity.
Yeah, I think we've played well in that half, and we'll see the penalty in a minute. So I don't want to talk about the penalty just yet because I want to see it again. But my issue is we've played well in that half. Chelsea played badly in that half, but it's 0-0. Yeah. They can make changes. They still had the best chance of the half with Giroud, and we should have created some chances for Greenwood in that half, and we've created nothing. Like we've created nothing. We've won the ball so many times high up. We've had so much of the ball in their half. Like, surprises me, as you said. I didn't think we'd have this much ball in their half, but we created absolutely nothing. And the problem is they know the only person who's going to create things is Bruno Fernandes. McTominay, Fred, James, Rashford's been swarmed a lot, to be fair, but there's no creativity coming from that team. And I mean, Greenwood's been a passenger. When he's had the ball, he's done quite well.
He's just got to set it back. He's just got to lay it off.
We should be creating chances in that half, and that's the disappointment, because I think we've been the better side. But you'll probably get people in the live comments saying that was shit, that was rubbish. Chelsea should be winning. They had the best chance, which isn't wrong. But actually, if you watch the game, we've spent so much time in their half compared to they have in ours.
Yeah,
but we've had nothing to show for it, really.
It's a 0-0 like it was in the first one so far, but it's a different type of 0-0 so far. Yeah, it has been the tempo's been quite good.
The press has been good from us. We've pressed them well, haven't we?
The pressing, I'm actually quite surprised that it's not something we do very often. We don't set a lot of traps. Dan James is actually really good in that department. Anytime when you watch him, he's where the ball's going to go, and when it comes in sort of his zone, he's very quick to press. That's one of his real good strengths, actually, in positionally and knowing when to go press. He's done that really well, and we've done it well on the other side as well. We've been setting little traps for them, and that's where Chelsea have struggled. They've tried to do the Barca thing, but they're still learning that under Tuchel, and what we've seen is that they're not quite there yet at doing it.
So well, there we go. They're going to go through the penalty now. But KA says this game reminds me of the Liverpool game. Looks like it's there for the taking. We could be walking away saying it's a good point, but there you go. Penalty. Did you think it was a penalty?
I think with how the rules are of the game and what they're saying are penalties, it's got to be a penalty, especially because his hand is up there near his head. His hand's up there, as they say, in an unnatural position. Do I want to see... Now, it's different if they would have come out...
People were saying Greenwood knocked his hand up towards the ball. There's nothing. It's just hand to ball.
When you see it first, I thought Greenwood handballed it first.
But he doesn't.
Then there was someone else, but he doesn't. Look, his hand... Why is Hudson-Odoi's hand up there? It's not that he's using it for leverage to jump. It's not that the ball got fired at him from 2 yards. In today's game, with how they're giving the penalties, it's if they're applying their own rules that they've been following, it's a penalty. It is. But on the bigger scale of things, I don't even really want penalties to be given like that in football, but they are being given. Do you know what I mean? They are. I mean, even when you watch it back there, it looks like Mason Greenwood.
Greenwood does not knock Hudson-Odoi's hand up. Basically, Hudson-Odoi's hand hits the ball that's travelled a long way, full on the hand. It's a penalty. He raises his hand. I realise these people are trolls in the live comments now. There is nothing that makes Hudson-Odoi touch that ball other than himself.
No, he puts his hand up there. It is 100% in today's game.
And he shit himself. He went over to the VAR screen and was shouting at the referee because he knew.
He's going, "Oh, for God's sake, come on, man! It's a penalty. It is a penalty." In today's game, you can call it soft, you can call it what you want. But they are given as
penalties. But Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, who's an ex-Chelsea player, just said his hand's in an unnatural position and he's not pushing anybody away. It's a penalty.
It's a penalty. What's his hand doing?
I was waiting for something at half-time. I genuinely, Flex, was waiting for something at half-time that was going to make me go, oh, you know what? It's not a penalty. Fucking hell. I was right. I'm not always right. But that is, for anybody who's not seeing it, because I know some people are at work and stuff, basically, the ball travels from a free kick. Hudson-Odoi is going for it with Greenwood. His hand's up like that. It's not. No way am I saying he's done it deliberately. But who does a handball deliberately in the box anyway these days? Yeah. But his hand's up like that. Greenwood doesn't push it into it.
He's not off balance. He's not jumping for a ball. Do you know what I mean? He's not standing up like 2 yards away from a player and they've tried to cross it. You know that one where it's hit his hand from a close proximity. He couldn't get out of the way. What was he supposed to do? He's running to. It's just clumsy. What's your hand doing up there? You're running up with your hand there near your shoulder, but outstretched away from your body, unnatural position, inverted commas. It's a pen. It's a pen. You know, we can debate all day whether those types of pens should be given in football, how strict you want to be, etc., etc. But how this modern game is now, that's a penalty. Oh, that's so close from Giroud, by the way.
Yeah, he should have scored.
See, and Lindelof wasn't watching. See, and that is the thing with Giroud. Movement on point, right across the front. Him and Maguire not taking stock of the situation. Unfortunately for us, Giroud gets it wrong and doesn't score. But
I'll tell you what, though,
that's the only thing there.
Just to wrap it up on the penalty thing, just to give my opinion, I don't know what yours is. I cannot, in any future game now, tell you what a handball is. I don't know. I can't tell you, because his hand is out. It touches his hand. He's not trying to push anyone. He's not in an unnatural position. The ball's travelled a long way. It's hit him full on the hand. It's not been given. So I can't tell you what a penalty is anymore, because I just don't know. I don't know. And that's the sad thing, regardless of whether it's United, Chelsea. I mean, Chelsea could get that in the second half, and I'd shit myself. I'd go, that's going to be a penalty. Yeah. Even though we just haven't got goal. I wouldn't. I don't know anymore.
Yeah, no, I agree. There's no consistency.
Second half, then. I mean, I presume we're going to see Chelsea change things up, because they played nothing like. I think that reminded me of Lampard Chelsea that half. To be honest, they were just weren't very good. Poor. And he has made a lot of changes, hasn't he? So I wonder what he'll do at half time, because we haven't got.
Yeah, and he's ruthless. No, Tuchel's ruthless, so he won't be scared to change it, and he's not short of options as well. I think if you put Werner in for Giroud, that could give us a different problem to deal with.
Yeah, because they're not getting far up the pitch enough to use Giroud's height, really, are they?
No, they're not. And then I could see them maybe bringing the Werner in for Giroud, or Ziyech off for Werner as well. Just to get a bit more pace in there, or going at people. Mount is his main guy, so I can't see him coming off. But for us, I just think we've got to keep going the way we are, but we've got to try and be way better. Not try. We've got to be way better on the ball. It's not even necessarily strictly just the personnel. I think that personnel is capable of playing better than that. Do you know what I mean? Get Dan James in down the sides. Get Marcus Rashford turned. Lindelof's hit a couple of crossfield balls or balls through the channels that have kind of bypassed the midfield and getting them turned. That's worked quite well. Harry Maguire stepping in because you've only got Giroud there and Luke Shaw's bombed on. You can go. So I think we just got to be a bit more imaginative. And as the game goes on, you're looking to bring Tony in for sure. I guess bring Tony in for. Depends how it goes. Really, might be the right game to keep Dan James on doing what he's doing, just for the shape.
Can we just be honest? I think Dan James has done well in the last 3 games, but I think people have run away with what sort of a player he is. I think he's been ineffectual in that game. Apart from running around, he offers nothing. This isn't the sort of game for Dan James. It's not ball in behind. This is intricate creativity, short, tight space game. And I don't think his pace is actually any asset at all in a game like this. It's very compact. And
at the moment, it isn't, because when you play him, that's what I mean. When we see him on the team sheet, we're hoping for a game that we thought it would be, which was more Chelsea have the ball, then we go break.
I just think he's ineffectual. I don't think he's playing badly. I just think he's ineffectual. Sometimes players are ineffectual. I don't think Greenwood's far off him. I think Greenwood's out of the game a lot as well. So I don't think McTominay and Fred. I think they showed. I think McTominay and Fred have done exactly what we know they do. They're a couple of Duracell bunnies. They're running around. They're breaking up the play. But then when they get the ball, we've seen countless backward passes.
Just safe,
safe passing. We need some creativity. I think Dan James is trying hard. I don't think he's playing badly. He's just ineffective. McTominay and Fred are getting the ball in good positions, but they don't know what to do with it. I mean, Fred's doing worse step overs than Phil Neville on the edge of the box, wasn't it? I mean, we're crying out for someone creative.
Pass it.
Yeah, we're crying out.
Just pass it.
They're so similar.
Van der Beek could be good in that midfield.
Yeah, I think
or even if you played him off the right or whatever, just like you said, because it's a bit of an intricate game. You're going to need a bit of imagination or guile to get the breakthrough in this. I can't see it just coming like bang from nowhere. I think it's going to have to be a well-constructed move. I don't know. So we'll see. But I think definitely we've got to be more imaginative with the ball and be very aware now that Chelsea have got gears to go up, because Tuchel will not be happy with that. He will not be happy with that. They played really poorly. I
do think it's. I mean, look, just very quickly. There's a lot of people in the live comments saying, "Oh, McTominay haters, Dan James haters out in force. I think it's been one of those games where if you like a player, you'll say they've played well. And if you don't like the tactics that we played, you'll say we don't play well. I'm not going to not own up to the fact that it's a very easy game to say someone's played well and someone's played bad. But ultimately, I don't really care about individuals. I care about the team. We've been the better team, but we've created nothing. And that's
But
the
then you
issue
look at
for
the
me.
whole front three, though. To be fair to Dan James, though, you look at the whole front three. If I said what's Greenwood done, what's Rashford done,
right, exactly.
It's just, they've all
it's just that we
been
know
on
Rashford
it.
and Greenwood are a better player than James, and that's the thing,
yeah.
isn't it? So it's not about going. I don't think anybody could say McTominay's been shit, Fred's been shit, Dan James has been shit,
no
Rashford's
one's been
shit.
crap.
We're just not.
No.
We're doing what what are Manchester United? Are we a scintillating creative football side, or are we a hard-working, organised side? And we all know it's the latter.
Yes, we are.
So
that's exactly it. Yeah, that's exactly.
And in that system, you could say we've played really well. As an organised side, we've played really well. As a creative footballing side, against a poor Chelsea side. And I agree with the super chat that Kay said. It's very similar to the Anfield game. Liverpool were there for the taking, but we didn't do it, even
As
though
that
we could have.
half wore on, that's exactly what I was thinking. I'm thinking we can go for these here. We should be scoring in this period. They're just giving the ball away. They can't get out. We know that the one threat that they've got, we've neutralised it. Let's go for the throat. I just want to see a bit more, like, kind of vindictive streak from us. Just kind of go for it, like a ruthless streak.
Tell you who has been shit though, Flex. He's been awful. Martial's been shit. Absolute shit. Get him off. Get him out.
Who?
Martial.
Martial.
That is the sort of game where his haters would be saying he's been.
Yeah.
Reece James looks like he's coming on for them. So, as you said, ruthless manager, he'll make the change. Because they've got to make the change. They need to win. If they carry that game on, it'll probably end up 0-0. They need to win. So it's got to change it.
Ollie, what's so wicked about Ollie? He never gets involved in any, like, confrontation with the other managers. Like, he's just so calm. Like, Tuchel's just going in on him, saying about the penalty, and he's just chilling, like, whatever.
Yeah. All right, mate. Well, we'll get you on for the fan forum afterwards. I still obviously gonna. I mean, look, whatever the result, this is a big 45 minutes, isn't it now?
Big 45 minutes is what, like we said at the beginning, we'll take the draw.
Yeah, I'd happily take the draw. I would take the draw. Would you?
Sometimes you think, the draw, man, we could have gone for the win. Or when is that going to change? But right now is not the time. I would take the draw. Yeah. Look, Toonkel's got the book out, mate. Yeah. All right, nice one.
All right, we'll catch you on the fan forum, pal.
Cool. Bye.
Speak to you in a bit. Please subscribe, by the way. We have whizzed through 995 and we're only 200 away from 996. That road to 1 million is escalating. So bottom right hand corner to subscribe. On the road to 1 million, we're live every night at 8 o'clock. We've got the 10 a.m. show every morning. Lots of live and interactive shows. So I've got lots of super chats to catch up on as well. Man United are just coming out. Dawid says, come on you Blues. Sanjay, thanks for the super chat. KA says, Chelsea are aware of the threat of James poses and foul him on every time they can. Joe Harty, our problem in the defence is Wan-Bissaka passing to the back and puts the defence under pressure. Storley Fly says, oh my God, VAR said the rules and reason it wasn't a pen is because he doesn't move his hand towards the ball. When did that rule come out? I can't live with that, Storyfy. I cannot live with that. His hand is stretched out. How much more do you want to move your hand? Klopp's words impact referees again. Stowell Penn, says Joe Holdway. What I can't understand is why did VAR intervene? If the ref got it wrong, it should have been a pen. Angie S says, we miss Cavani in the game. A bit more patience on the final ball. Maybe put Donny on for McTominay, even though he's been good. Weak bench, to be fair. Ollie's talking to the linesman. He can't understand it. Will Ipswich get to the Prem in the next 10 years, says Freddie Miller? I don't know. And Dermot Gallagher and the other pundit said it's a pen. The ball bounced and again came to his arm at low speed. It was 100% a penalty. Yeah, I think they're just trying to justify why it's not a penalty when it was. I think, look, you're never going to get every decision. I accept that. But I think in the grand scheme of things, out of 10, if that was shown 10 times, I think 9 times it's a penalty. And Chelsea got lucky that they got the Pratt in the middle who didn't decide on it. Why do some of us get so triggered when people say Bruno's passing has been sloppy? Our best player since Van Persie, but he's just sloppy in some games, says Tactical Foul. It was a penalty, as you can see Chelsea players raising hands for it when none of United's players were. Great to see us taking the game to a top 6 rival for once rather than sitting back, says Wise. James is so weirdly underrated. And Robbie says, Mark, don't you think this would be a perfect game for Donny? Tight spaces in the midfield. United's passing has been awful, says Thomas. Martial has been bad this season, but he should be playing instead of James, says Abhishek. Retention is horrific. Diabetic bladder FC, playing with 10 men and an excited puppy doesn't help either. And this game reminds me of the Liverpool game, says K8. Right, we're caught up. Thanks for all the super chats there. Excited puppy, I presume that's Dan James. Hudson-Odoi's come off, by the way. Reece James has come on. Probably give them a little bit more stability. And Scholes moaning, everybody protecting the centre-backs, says Captain Birdseye. Yeah, but I think that I don't think the game suits Dan James, and I think excited puppy is probably a little bit too far. But anybody who says he's underrated, he's only played the last 3 games. We've played over 30 games this season. How can he be underrated when he's hardly played? And he's played a couple of games in a week where he's run around and looked fast. And he's scored a couple of goals. It's hard to underrate a player that's not really a first-team player that's only found his way back into the first team in the last week or so. So I don't think you can be underrated for 3 games in a week, to be fair. And I'll stand what I've always said about Dan James. I don't think I think Dan James suits certain games. Like Sociedad, who played a high line and left a lot of space in behind, play Dan James. Leeds, who will, go 1-1, man for man and leave a lot of space, Dan James. A team that's going to play deep and not let you in behind, does that suit Dan James? I'm yet to be convinced. But at the moment, this is heading towards an Anfield 0-0. Where 3 points could be there. Although we haven't had the chances we had at Anfield. Remember Pogba and Bruno at Anfield? We haven't had those chances yet. So I think it's a very similar game to the Anfield game. I think we've been very competitive and I think we can feel as if we can get something out of this game. But you've got to create. We can't have another 0-0 against the top 6. Would that be, by my calculation, that would be Arsenal twice, Chelsea twice, Man City, Liverpool, Spurs. 7 games against the traditional top 6 and we've scored 1 goal. It's not good enough, is it? Great save, De Gea! Blocked by Luke Shaw. What a save, De Gea. That should have been 1-0 Chelsea. Oh my God. I don't know how great a save it was, but Luke Shaw made a great block as well. That should be 1-0. Catch it, David. Bloody hell. De Gea saves Manchester United there. It's a run down the left-hand side from from Chilwell. What a save. What a save, because he's going the wrong way. It's fantastic. He's actually already moving the other way. Strong hand. Brilliant save by De Gea. That's what, if you know the game, that's a great save by De Gea, because he's moving the other way and he has to go back with that hand. He's going that way because he thinks the shot's going that way and it goes that way and his whole body is not behind it. It's got to be a really strong hand. Great save by De Gea and a good block by Luke Shaw to follow it up. They didn't show that. United lucky not to be 1-0 down there, and this is the problem. First half, we were the better team. Second half, yellow card for Fred. The ref's crap. The ref's atrocious. Sack the ref for being crap. That's Fred's first foul. Probably, actually, that is a yellow card. He has gone through the back of him like... Mark, there are rumours that Pulisic will leave Chelsea. Tuchel decision. Would you take him on our ring? Says Thomas. Yes. McTominay's been poor again. Just walking to Chilwell. Says Lewis Barnes. Fred on a yellow card. That's not what you want. 40 minutes to go and Fred's on a yellow card. Oh, this is going to be very interesting. Stupid tackle by Fred, says Gary Smith. It was a yellow card. I'll take it back. But yeah, Chelsea with a brilliant chance. Good save by De Gea. And then Luke Shaw blocks it. So Chelsea have had the best chances of the game. Look at Bruno trying to press this ball here. Look at the energy of Bruno there. I'm writing that down. Does anybody run around like Bruno? Bloody hell. His pressing is unbelievable. I don't see that from Greenwood. I don't see it from Rashford. I don't see it from Dan James. He just tracks everywhere. He's superhuman. This is the best I've seen Fred in a while, but now he's been booked. Get Donny on, says Robbie. And how is that defensive pair gone on this long? They cannot perform a partnership and also stifle our forward play, says Bryce Shaw. De Gea and Shaw saved us there. Lindelof and Maguire nowhere in sight as per usual. Probably high-fiving each other on the wing. Look at that save from De Gea. Prime example that he still does the business for us in the games and then people want to have him dropped, says the contrarian. This is the I've done that one. Please subscribe, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. We're getting closer to 996 on that road to 1 million. But Chelsea are getting closer to our goal this half. They're definitely on the front foot. They've obviously had the tactical bollocking at half-time. Reece James has come on for Hudson-Odoi, giving them more shape. Maybe Ollie's told United to drop a bit. I don't know. Yeah, De Gea haters can sit down. I've told them they can sit down anyway. Robert McCormack says it's a good save, but if he lets it in, it's a howler. I don't know about that, Robert. Have you ever played in goal, Robert? He's moving the other way, and he's got no body behind the save. So it's a one-hand save. It's a good save. It could have gone in. He might not have had the power for it. Dan James with a shot wins a corner. No, he's done the right thing there, Dan. Got the right thing. Get a shot off. Could have fed Mason, I suppose, but I don't know. I think he was right to have a shot here, Dan James. There's not a lot going on. Yeah, I think he's right to have a shot there. Corner to Manchester United. Robert's got so many agendas, says Prince. Oh, yeah. He has. Robbo and his agendas against... Who else? I can't remember who he doesn't like. Bay. Robert McCormack doesn't like Bay as well. Get your head on it, Harry. I think if we score first in this game, we won't lose the game. And that's the main thing today. So I want Man United to score first. If we can score first, I don't think we'll concede two. Luke Shaw with the cross. Headed away. Fred. Oh, for God's sake, Fred. Your passing is absolutely crap. And it's a good job Chelsea's was crap there because they had a 4v2. Got a lot of men back now. All comes from Fred, that. Ziyech. Still Ziyech. Blocked. Get rid of it. Lindelof. Bit ragged here. Kovacic. Kante. Mount. Chilwell. I think Chelsea already are looking better this second half. What changes can we make, though? Because he's not going to bring Ahmad on. Got Van der Beek. Why did Bruno stop taking corners, says Ashley Larkham. What's the point of Bruno pressing when his teammates around him aren't doing the same? Press is only effective as a United, not through individuals. Good. Nice ball over the top. Mendy's going to get that. Tell you what, I hate games like this. I hate games like this because it's a massive game. Like if Chelsea win, they go 3 points behind us. If we win, we go 9 points ahead of them. If we draw, we keep it at 6 points. The margins are so thin. And you knew it was going to be a tight game. I said this all week. 1-1, 0-0, 1-0, 2-1. It's not going to be bloody 3-0 or 2-0 or anything like that. It's going to be fine margins. And I think the team that score first at this point doesn't lose the game. Lindelof gives away a corner. Matic and Donny over McFred every day of the week, says Sean Negative Turner. Well, I don't think he's going to make attacking substitutions, is he? Ooh. Stretch that back out. Corner to Chelsea. They've scored more corners than anyone else this season. I'm sure you're bored of me saying that, but it's true. We're not that great on corners. I'm Batman. Cross comes in. No, it doesn't. They go short again. I don't know why Chelsea have refused to put crosses into the box, but that's out for a goal kick. Welcome to the Members Club, Morgan Devlin. Thank you very much. Stephen says, Julian Laurens at the bridge, quoting Ollie, let's be more confident on the ball, let's play more. Ollie needs to make a change quickly, says Stephen Penner. Anyone else surprised we haven't seen Aaron Wan-Bissaka sliding, says Budwan. It's got me stressed, this game. I did say if you're not a United fan or you're not a Chelsea fan, I don't think this is for you. I don't think it's going to be a cracker. We're 100 subscribers away from 996, so please subscribe, bottom right hand corner. That'll put us 4,000 subscribers away from 1 million. So thanks everyone who has subscribed, bottom right hand corner. Joining on the United stand, everybody's welcome. We are live every night at 8 o'clock. We've got the fan forum coming up after my match reaction. Remember, you can do your player ratings through the website. In about 15 minutes time, we'll open that up. Dan James has got the ball on the right hand side. He's offside. Offside on the break. I mean, we might get more we might get a more space on the break as the game goes on, I suppose. So, yeah, there might be a bit more space for Dan James as the game opens up. I mean, Rashford's been quiet, hasn't he? Let's be honest. We've not seen much of Rashford. I mean, to be honest, Flex is exactly right. It's only because we know that Rashford's a better player. Oh, here they are on the break now. Mount. McTominay will get rid of that. That's not strong enough, McTominay. That's not strong enough. Get rid of it. But yeah, just going back to what Flex said at half time. I mean, has Dan James had an effective game? No, he hasn't. But has he had a less effective game than Rashford and Greenwood? No, he hasn't. It's only because we see Rashford and Greenwood as better talents that we're like, well, you know, we go in on Dan James a little bit more. But realistically, Rashford's had a very quiet game, hasn't he, I think? Newcastle did the same with corners. Figured out if they play it short, we push out and can't get back quick enough when they cross it. Slow and unorganised. Crossed by Reece James. Fred. I don't think we're going to be able to do this for 33 minutes, though. Mark, no point watching the big games. Ollie always plays negative, says Mikael Roach. Dan Babbage, welcome to the members club. Why are we condoning this stupid brand of football? We are united. This is not progress. Are you telling me this Chelsea team is streaks ahead of us, says Julian S? Well, I think they're all over us this half. And I think it's another example of Ollie being a one-dimensional coach. Remember, I've said this before. I suppose it is a criticism, but tactics change in game. Can't do it. Seen it many times where we'll have a good half, but we won't adapt. We'll keep it the same and just hope for something. And here it might be something. If Bruno gets this pass right, Rashford. Fucking hell, Rashford. How's he not got that there? Is it a bad pass by Bruno, or is it just a great chance to be through one-on-one? Welcome to the members club, Tang. Greenwood! Ooh, I thought it would go in top corner. And Greenwood says F off himself. Lovely play by Greenwood. Gets the 1-2 with Dan James. And I tell you what, it's not far off. It's not far off from Mason. On his left foot as well. Mendy's beat. That's probably our best chance of the game. Those fine margins in a game like this. Only way we win here is a counter-attack, says Jack. Well, I do think the counter-attack is on. I think what's happening in the second half is what I thought would happen in the first half. Chelsea are playing a lot higher up and we're having to hit them on the break. But I think, is that not playing into our hands a little bit now? Because Chelsea can't... A draw's not good for Chelsea. Don't shoot, Fred. What's he doing? What's Fred doing? He's on a madness. He's doing little flicks and ball rolls. He's found his Brazilian passport. Here's Luke Shaw. Back post, Wan-Bissaka. Cuts it back, McTominay. Saved by the keeper. It all started off with Fred. And Chelsea clear it away. Bloody Fred. He's doing backflips. Not backflips. Rolling the ball. Luke Shaw gets it. Cross comes in. Wan-Bissaka gets it. Lays it to McTominay. This is where you want McTominay. Edge of the box. Good hit. Keeper saves straight at the keeper, to be fair. It's not a good save, but it's a shot. Through a crowd. Could have found a deflection. But I don't know what Fred was doing there. But he found his Brazilian passport for sure. Ball rolls and step overs. Moving like Neymar. That's got to be a yellow card for Chilwell, that foul on Greenwood. Come on. Bruno's passion is unreal. He really wants to win, says Taran. This ref is a complete prat, says Seb Watson. Bruno is a born leader, make him captain, says Mikhail Roach. Ollie's so frustrating, never changes anything, even though everyone can see it's not really working. That was from Paul Chadwick. Chance for United to put a cross in here, though. And it's headed away. Another cross by Bruno. Headed away. We're putting some good crosses at Rashford. Straight at the keeper. Better. See, this has been a good 5 minutes for Man United. We've had more shots on goal in the last 5 minutes than we've had in the whole game. And I would say that, all right, they're not major chances, but we are creating chances. I think first half, we were the better team and we created nothing. This half, it's more 50-50, but we're getting more chances from it. And I think, you know why I think that is? I think it's because Chelsea are going for it more. And it's given us more space on the attack. Yeah, I think that we almost need a United Stand t-shirt for Fred. Don't shoot Fred. Oh, lovely play here. Fred had to be careful. It could have been a red. Who's going to get near him? Oh, no! Great tackle there. McTominay nearly got turned. Chilwell blocks it. Offside. Bloody hell. I had my heart in my mouth here. It's Mason Mount on the run. And Fred could have took him out. Would have been a yellow card. Would have been sent off. He's into the box. He does a brilliant bit of skill on McTominay. But then McTominay does well to block it. Sends McTominay back to Aberdeen. But then McTominay finds his way back to London to block the shots. I don't know whether Scott McTominay's ever been to Aberdeen. But he is Scottish. But McTominay does well to recover there. Because he absolutely skinned him in the box. But Fred could have been so close to a red. Fred the Red, nearly. Still half an hour to go in this game, though. I would make a change. Matic for Fred, surely. Better to play with Matic than Fred than play with 10 men. They're going to bring Pulisic on now. For fuck's sake, their bench is unreal. Unreal. But the game is open. It's very, very open. What a ball that is by Luke Shaw. Will Dan James hold it up? Nobody flicks it off. Mason Greenwood gets it wide. Fred's got to come off, says Sean. He can't foul if we push forward. His game can't make a professional foul, and plus he's awful. Go on, Bruno. Luke Shaw. Hit it, Scott. Hit it. Go on. Yes. Oh, good block. Yeah, you were right to shoot, Scott. Fred. Don't shoot, Fred. Yeah, pass. James. McTominay. Fred. And that's gone out of play. Fred on a yellow is still scary time for Donny, says Bourgeois. And hi, says Annabina. And Fred's got to come off. Yeah, we've done that from Sean, negative Turner. Marshall should come on. He will create more chances. And you can call my friend Jasper a prat. Love your content, says M. Ways. You're a prat. Dan Babbage, we've done that one. Mark, Ollie should take off Fred and bring on Donny. Would make the game much better, says Thomas Webster. He'll take Fred off and bring Matic on. We can't do another PSG. Well, it's logical to take Fred off when he's on a yellow card in a game like this, because what is Fred good at? Tackling, tenacity, energy. What's he bad at? Passing, creativity. What can't you do when you're on a yellow card? Tackling and tenacity. So take him off. Oh, McTominay's been robbed there. But Dan James will get that. Good recovery pace by Dan James. And then he gives it away. Oh, Dan. Bloody sloppy that is. Works hard to win the ball back and then gives it away. It's an intriguing second half, though. I think it almost might be a one-goal game. He's a good player, Mason Mount, isn't he? Very impressive this season. Maguire and De Gea's got it. Bring on Sancho, says Justa. Should out of contract Hertha Berlin keeper come to Chelsea and replace Mendy? Says Football Interaction. I don't know who that is, so I'm not going to announce a name that when I say it probably says something rude. Please subscribe, by the way. We're only 10 away from 996,000. Bottom right hand corner to subscribe. 25 minutes to go in this game. It's tense. How Martial gets more hate than Rashford is beyond me, says Lewis Barnes. Lovely play between Luke Shaw there. He's just waiting to feed Rashford. Attack the box, Rashford. No, he bottles it. Comes back towards Greenwood, into Luke Shaw. Back to Fred. Don't shoot, Fred. He's bloody shot. Ooh, right foot. I tell you what. Oh, well, look at Ollie. He's like bloody... Ollie's like... He's fan-dabby-dozy, Fred. Fan-dabby-dozy. He's giving him the thumbs up. God, it's not a PE teacher's game. It's miles off. It wasn't miles off. It was close. Ollie's giving him the thumbs up to shoot more. Don't bloody shoot more. Give it to somebody who can. He will score. He will score a banger one day, won't he? Come on, Bruno. It's there to be won. I tell you what, it's a 6-pointer. This last 20 minutes, a 6-pointer. If we lose, Chelsea are 3 points behind us. If we win, we're 9 points ahead of Chelsea. That's why it's a 6-pointer, because one result, one way or another, can lead to a 6-point change of the result. I think Dan James has been good. I don't expect much from him, but he got stuck in, works hard. Them two clowns and midfielder are jokes, says Sean Negative Turner. And I know Fred's job is to break up the play, but his passing accuracy is his Achilles heel. All energy, no quality. Well, I tell you what, I wish that had gone in. I wish that had gone in, folks. Here's Dan James. Good tackle. I tell you what. Where are the subs? 22 minutes to go. We played on Thursday night, Ollie, you know. That's a shit pass by him. He's not had a good game. I think if I said to you McTominay, people would say, oh, he's had a really good game. I don't think he's had a good game at all. I think his passing's been bad. I think he's been got past a few times. But I think some people will say, wow, he's run around a lot. I think, as I said at half time, I don't think it's easy to say somebody's had an individually bad game, but I think it's quite easy to say somebody's not been that productive. And I don't think that midfield two have been productive at all, really. I know we all love Fred. He's crazy. He tries silly shots and, you know, he puts tackles in and everything. But the creativity from that midfield two has just not been to the level you would want, really. I know. Ziyech. Maguire heads it clear. Anton says, is there any whoops warming up? Any subs warming up? 20 minutes to go. We do miss Pogba. We miss Pogba. And any team's going to miss Pogba. But we need a creative player in that pivot. That midfield pivot is crying out for some creative. I mean, Tommy there, you've got to put the bloody tackle in. Got to put the tackle in. Can't be letting them skip through tackles. Who did Pulisic come on for? Ziyech? Yeah, Ziyech, yeah. So they've made... How many subs have they made? They've made 2 subs, haven't they? We've made no subs. Well, look, to be honest with you, the lack of subs is always a concern. It's the same as picking Maguire and Lindelof, isn't it? It's just something he will not change, because we played on Thursday night. McTominay has only trained 1 day. Fred's on a yellow card. It's... Oh, Martial's coming on. 20 minutes. Come on, Tony. You know how you like to come off the bench and score winners. I think he'll take Greenwood off. I'll tell you what, though. For all the lack of creativity from the midfield too, can somebody honestly tell me that Rashford's had a good game? Like, he hasn't, has he? I haven't even noticed defensive... I've noticed Dan James' defensive work. I haven't noticed Rashford's defensive work. I think Rashford's had a very, very quiet game. I don't know what people think about that, because I think you have to distribute the... You can't just always focus on the people that always get focused on. You know, the centre-backs, Fred, Dan James. You know, I think Rashford's been quiet today. Bring Ramos on for the winning header, says Michael Blum. And bring on Martial. He's due for a couple of goals to silence all the haters. Watch Ollie will bring Van der Beek on with 5 minutes to go, says Vin Bra. And Jack Fagan, whether Scott has had a bad game or not, he always puts a shift in. Well, I don't give a shit about that, Jack. We're Manchester United. He's not down the pit digging up for coal, is he? Oh, putting a shift in, is that what Manchester United's about now? I want a little bit more, I'm afraid. That's why we're nowhere near Man City. I said this last night. Watch the video I did last night. I'm fed up of us having to just talk about putting a bloody shift in. We're not winning a title on a shift. Like, people need to realise that if you haven't got the whole package, you're not a title-winning player. Like, you've got to have everything. You've got to put a shift in, and you've got to have quality, and you've got to have creativity, and you've got to be able to read the game. It's as simple as that. Putting a shift in is not good enough. There's a shot from Chelsea. Kovacic, easy save for De Gea. 15 minutes to go. 15 minutes to go. Player ratings is open. I'm getting tetchy. I know I'm getting tetchy because this is the sort of game that if we were to lose it, I don't think we deserve to lose it. But if we did lose it, it would be a hammer blow of confidence. And remember, we're unbeaten away from home in over a year. Would I take a point now, Mark? Yes. Would you take a point now? I'll ask you lot. Would you take a point now? I bloody would. I think it'd be a good point. Yes, we could win it, but we could also lose it. So I'll take a point. Maguire with a header there. Good header. De Gea. I'll tell you what, De Gea's... I mean, they're all routine saves, but De Gea's handling today has been good. Very good. Werner's coming on for them. So they're going to use their third substitution. We've not made one yet. I think we are about to make one. Sip of water. I wish it was vodka. Need something to calm the nerves. Here's Fred. See, I think Fred's got more space to run into there, and he plays a sideways pass. It does go forward, but I think you look at Dan James and Greenwood, they're having to come back from the runs that they've made now. If that's Pogba, I don't think Pogba checks and plays that sideways. I think he goes forward into the space, and that's what you need. McTominay and Fred are just shielders. They're just shielders. That's all they are. They're not going to give you anything going forward. Here's Dan James. Good cross. Good cross. Good cross. Oh. It was a good cross and Mendy spilt it. I tell you what, if someone had been around there, they would have had a bloody tap in. That's come back here. Player ratings. If you want to start doing your player ratings, you can do. We'll be going through this on the match reaction. I do my player ratings, but when I click out of 10, it will give your aggregated scores out of 10. You can vote on the website. I've dropped the link in the video description. Mark every player out of 10. 6 being average, 10 obviously being superb. I don't think anyone's 10 out of 10 today. Hi Mark, do you think Ollie's trying to copy Pep with subs at 70th and 80th minute, or I'm completely wrong, says Ben. And hey Mark, what time is the career mode episode on tomorrow, says Thomas Webster. 3:45, mate, English time. I'm 40 seconds behind, but completely agree with putting a shift in not being good enough. Too much sympathy picking of players like James, etc. And we need to win, says Rizwan. It's an opportunity if we can win. But bloody love it if we win this. Please subscribe, by the way. We were very close to 996,000. Bottom right hand corner to subscribe. On that road to 1 million. Bottom right hand corner, subscribe to the channel. We've got a break in the play here because Dan James has gone down injured. So please subscribe. Bottom right hand corner. Getting closer to 1 million. I have a sick of Ollie bottling every big game, says 9ass. I can't read that. Bruno's been poor today, says Ashen. No, I don't know. I don't think so. I think Bruno's put an amazing shift in. I think he's. I can't. But I don't want to hypocrite myself. It's not all about putting a shift in. I think if you say Bruno's been awful, how bad do you think Rashford's been then? Or are we just doing the whole foreign thing again? Because if you're going to give Bruno an average 6, you've got to give Rashford a 4. I think Rashford's been really quiet today. Really, really quiet today. But it'll be Bruno who gets it because this is how our fan base works. You know, De Gea's been brilliant. Martial for Greenwood. Can Martial silence his haters? I'd bloody love it if he did. He's on. Anyway, can I just say this? If you don't think Bruno's had a good game today, you're basically subscribing to my genius. What did I say on the morning show today? I said I wouldn't be surprised if this game ends 0-0 and Bruno has a poor game. Do you know why? Because it's the same tactics we did at Chelsea at home, Liverpool away, Arsenal away, Arsenal at home, Man City at home, Spurs at home. It's the same tactics against the traditional top 6. Defensive, unimaginative, counter-attacking football that doesn't allow our attackers to play well. Our players are poor every game against the top 6 and no one criticises our tactics, but every time we beat a big team, it's masterclass. Sharathcraft Fitness. I said it this morning. I said this game will be like every other game. Another disappointing, but you can't really moan because we've got a point, but we should be getting more, and our attackers are very quiet. Rashford's quiet, James is quiet, Greenwood's quiet, Bruno's quiet. You could change that for Greenwood's quiet, Martial's quiet, Rashford's quiet, Bruno's quiet. We've seen it time and time again. And the only thing that you are complimenting is people putting a shift in. Because putting a shift in should not be a United player standards. McTominay's been bang average this game, says Amy. Bruno's been trying to make a world-class meal with McDonald's ingredients. He's nothing around him. He shouldn't be blamed for that. Well, road to dawn. Spot on. Mark, people are now making comments about Bruno as bloody as Neville is calling him on Sky. Andy and Bruno. Oh, don't listen to him. It's the same old stuff. Always the same. They always go for the foreign player because they can't. You know what? They'll have a go at Bruno now, but in 2 months they'll say exactly what I'm saying now. Look at that team, and when I say Bruno's going to have a bad game, why do I know that? But some people don't know that. Look at that team and try and figure out why Bruno's going to have a bad game. There's sod all creativity around him. Dan James is not a footballer in a football creative way. Rashford's had a bad game and Greenwood's playing ahead of him. He's got Bruno and he's got Fred and McTominay behind him. There's nothing going on around him. And then people get surprised when he has a bad game. I said it before the game. I find it hilarious. Fergie always said they would always take a draw away from home against contenders and win at home, win all the others and you win the league, says Franco Riva. Yeah, but this is the same game that we played at Old Trafford, Franco. It's the same way. Check my tweet out at Mark Goldbridge. Says it all. It says it all about what I was just talking about there. Check my tweet out at Mark Goldbridge. Bruno would play better if he had Saka, Pepe and Aubameyang around him. He would. He would, Zane. You're right. Look at Bruno's work rate. If it ain't working for him, at least he tries hard. Look at Rashford. Been awful and doesn't work hard at all. 10 minutes to go. Nina says, watching Fred and McTominay is so boring. They're average at best. Completely agree with you, Mark. We need a CDM and a centre-back. Ollie won't win anything. The only positive from today is that everyone around has also dropped points as Marcus win. I think Liverpool are playing... Liverpool have kicked off, haven't they? Liverpool are playing at 6 o'clock. He should have subbed Fred off as well. He's carried a player with a yellow card. I mean, how can you go and win a game? Do you even want to win a game? I think we've played for a draw this second half, trying to hit them on the break. What a bit of defending by Lindelof there. Brilliant. What a cross by Reece James. It looks like it's a tap-in for Werner. And Lindelof, somehow, on the back post, flips it out for a corner. Look at that. Another cross that Maguire's nowhere near. How many crosses get past Harry Maguire? Now that could have been a goal as well. Tony has swapped back to his red boots from the black ones. Watch the spaces in these last 10 minutes, says Mzanzi. The ball distribution from that midfield two of Fred and McTominay is shit. We've not been able to build any momentum this second half. It's been really bad. I just hope we can hold on to the points here. Hold on to the point, sorry. Here's Werner. Shoots it straight at De Gea. This will not change with Ollie in charge. Bruno will leave in a year or so if we don't change the way we play, says Leo Man United. Well, I just hope we can get this point now. I mean, if we can nick something, great, but... Here's Pulisic. He's getting a free shot. Someone's got to go to him there. You got McTominay running alongside him and Maguire sort of... I don't know what Maguire's doing here. Watch this back. Pulisic is running at the defence. McTominay's alongside him. You've got to close him down quicker than that. If he hits that well enough, he's close enough. 3 United players with him and he still gets a bloody shot off. I'm worried. 5 minutes to go. I'm worried here. Got to get this game over. 0-0 again. Basically, it's not a terrible point, but it's just the way that we're drawing games. No goals. No goals against Chelsea twice. Liverpool, Man City and Arsenal twice. No goals. That's 6 games and no goals against the traditional top 6. Oh, add Spurs into that. 1 goal, which was a penalty. It's not good enough, is it? You know, a couple of times you can deal with it, but not 7 times against the top 6 playing the same way. Something's broken with the way we're playing when we play the top 6. We can draw a game, but drawing games, you've got to win. You've got to try and win against these sides. There's not enough creativity in the team. I can't think of a good chance that we've had, a really good chance. We've had that shot from Greenwood, we've had a shot from McTominay, but nothing good in the box. Martial, oh, come on. I hope we get the point here. If we lose now, it would be like dying on the toilet. Embarrassing, says Mark Dobbie. Welcome to the Members Club, Jonathan McGlynn. And didn't we sack a manager for tactics like this? Asking for a friend, says Alligator. Well, I will be talking about that on the match reaction because it was something I wrote down at the start of the game. Is this any different to Jose Mourinho's tactics? We'll be talking about that in the match reaction because I think now the evidence isn't good. Lindelof was brilliant there. Give the bloke some credit. I did. Literally did say it was brilliant. He did the same against Sociedad on Thursday. Maybe clean your ears out, mate. You question other fans' standard and yet you are saying the manager is not good enough. Have a good look at your standards. Don't know what that means, Brown West. I don't know what that means. I don't know what you're trying to say. You need to be a little bit more blunt, please. 3 minutes to go. I said before the game, a draw. I hoped it wouldn't be 0-0. I hoped it would be 1-1. But I think it's going to be... Well, we've played Arsenal twice this season. We lost 1-0. We got 0-0. We've played Chelsea twice this season. 0-0, 0-0. Not really an advert for attacking, exciting football, is it? Not really an advert for wanting to win games of football. I think that's the problem, isn't it? Yet again, efficient but underwhelming like Mourinho. Tactically inept, no bravery or imagination. Not the Man United I know, says Bree Shaw. We're conceding the title and we didn't even try to score, says David Pearce. Well, yeah, I'd never even thought about it that. When not in possession, McTominay's stuck on our centre-backs even if there's no threat. He hardly ventures out to close down attacking players. Must be from Ollie, says Mohamed Voda. Well, there's a chance for Chelsea to put a cross in. Mark says you're so negative. Oh, I'm negative. I don't pick the fucking team. It's got nothing to do with me. How can I be? So I'm negative as a Manchester United fan brought up on winning titles and exciting football. And yet I'm negative for moaning about a Manchester United side that has played the top 6 7 times, traditional top 6, and scored 1 goal and had 5 0-0 draws. Oh, here we go. On the break. Hit it now. McTominay hit it now. Oh, he's blown it. We had 3 queuing up. 3 queuing up on the break. And he fucked his cross up. That was the chance. And Dan James plays a shit pass to James. Oh, that was the chance. That was the chance. And McTominay messed his cross up. Told you, no creativity in the midfield. We don't have creativity. No ambition from the board, no ambition from the coaching staff. If this was LVG or Jose, a lot more would be made of it. Ollie gets more leeway. Well, I'm going to talk about it in the match reaction, Julian. Like Bruno, Rashford suffers from a lack of service. Bruno gets involved and shows immense work rate. Rashford doesn't. That's why he's not as visible. Please subscribe, bottom right hand corner. But watch this back. It's actually a really good ball by Fred. It's a brilliant ball by Fred. But that cross has got to be made by McTominay. Bruno looks furious out there. He knows what's going on. Looks up, fed up with it, says Andrew Kelly. And remember, we've only made 1 substitution. 1 substitution. I'll write that down as well. 1 sub. Not good enough. No ambition. 3 minutes added on, 2 minutes played. De Gea boots it away. You can do your player ratings through the website. The link's in the video description. Mark every player out of 10, 6 being the average. I genuinely think Ollie will just be happy not to have got beaten, you know. I know that sounds... I know that sounds... but I think that... I'm going to talk about this in the match reaction because I think too many times we don't... we're hiding behind something. Oh, this is a great point. Well, it's not a bad point. It's not a bad point. It keeps Chelsea 6 points behind us and they've got to play Liverpool. If we beat Palace, we could go 7, 8 points. In the grand scheme of things, it's not a bad point. But we're Manchester United and we are sucking the life out of what this club's meant to be. As I said, it's just not acceptable the amount of games that we are playing like this against the top 6. Not acceptable. We're killing what we're meant to be all about. Man of the match for me is probably David De Gea. Yeah, I would struggle to give a man of the match because I don't think anybody stood out massively, but David De Gea's save was superb. So for me, it's probably David De Gea. Love this channel, but you are very pessimistic. We're second in the league, which is an improvement over last season, says HCLFK. I'm not pessimistic, mate. I'm really not pessimistic. I'm not pessimistic. I'm a Manchester United fan who has seen what Manchester United Football Club is all about, who my granddad brought me up on, like what the Busby Babes were all about, what the 60s were all about. I know what Manchester United's meant to be all about. And this is, my point is, we were second in the league with Mourinho and the football was shit and everyone knew it was shit. We're second in the league with Ollie and we are playing Mourinho-style football and we're meant to be not pessimistic. I think your head's buried in the sand. I think your head is buried in the sand because you are sat there saying I'm being pessimistic because we're second in the league. We were second in the league 3 years ago and everyone was fuming because the football was shit. So why am I being pessimistic when the progression is not there? Yes, we're second in the league, but the football is shite. We never beat anybody convincingly. Take Southampton and Leeds away. Who have we beaten convincingly this season? And against Chelsea twice, we've had 2 0-0s. Against Liverpool, 0-0. Man City, 0-0. Arsenal, 0-0 and a 0-1 loss. We are playing like Mourinho against the top 6, or the traditional top 6. How is that a step forward and why is it pessimistic? I'm Ollie in. I'm not an Ollie outer. I'm like, give him till May. I've always said that. But do you think I'm happy with that performance? He's smiling and he's happy. It's not good enough. We've not created one good chance in the box in that game. Our man of the match for me is David De Gea. There's a lack of creativity. Basically, I can give the players 10 out of 10 for putting a shift in FC. But Bruno's not happy. He's not happy with that performance. Look at Bruno, the real leader of that team. He ain't happy. Because it's another opportunity gone, I feel. Anyway, please do your player ratings. Bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. We're going to be live with the match reaction in a minute or two. I'm going to be talking about this very issue. That manager and his cowardice in the top 6 games. And if you disagree, we'll get into a chat about it. But link in the video description for the match reaction. We'll do the player ratings on that show. Mark every player out of 10, 6 being the average. And we'll go through that on the match reaction in a minute or two. See you there in a minute.